How are we doing, everybody? Welcome back to the Sean Atwood channel. I'm Ron Swanson, and we're here for our ROOQ Daily, ROOQ Live, whatever we're going to call this show, for today, a little bit later, because that's just the way it's turned out today. But a lot's happened. We've got Tommy Robinson is out of jail. We've got some missing individuals from Scotland. A young lad called Cole has gone missing. We're going to be delving into the latest reports on the Liverpool parade incident. What else? Oh yeah, we'll be jumping on to Discord to get the latest on the Diddy case, and we're going to be looking at apparently the problem with ethnicity when it comes to the police and naming individuals in cases like the tragedy of the Liverpool parade incident. Also, I'm just going to fire it out into the side chat. Ron's Twitter. He forgot it existed, but now we're back on it. So make sure you tag me in some bits and bobs each day. And the daily show, I'm wanting to sort of tweak it slightly. Longer show and incorporating some segments, shall we say. And one of the segments is, of course, the United Kingdom, the police state, and the insanity of our current government. The latest failings, of course, took place yesterday when we are all told that an event that was already foreshadowed to have millions, 1 million people in the streets. And the police said yesterday, when we heard that lady speak, the police representative, that they had taken security measures seriously and that there was armed police. Now, whatever way we want to look at it, all right, whether we want to look at this from oh, he may have lived there, oh, he was parked at the restaurant, whatever, right? Whatever. The official police statement was that he tailgated an ambulance after a checkpoint. I don't think it's called a checkpoint. Was lifted to let the ambulance through for somebody who suffered a heart attack. Now, we spoke about this yesterday. It has to be the oldest trick in the book to sneak in behind somebody, you know, and I just can't get my head round how far into this crowd, the devastation that was allowed to happen, the members of the public that tried to get involved because they knew something was going on. We heard people say that this individual was intoxicated on substances. He may have gotten spooked and was freaking out for his life, and that's when all this took place. But it's so confusing as to how something like this was allowed to happen. You know, it's one thing if somebody accidentally fall, but here's another thing, right? Is it possible that the other gunmetal colored cars that looked very similar, right? There were Mercedes, right? We've seen pictures of them yesterday. Is it possible that it was so crowded that when you just seen the top, like from, let's say, from the driver's side window up on the vehicle, if you could just see that, was that why it was allowed through? Because it was mistaken for one of the unmarked Mercedes? It's so odd, because when we looked at the footage yesterday, there was a bit of footage where the car was stationary. Then the public tried to open the door, and from behind there was a huge fancy looking building, right? Fancy looking building with a phone shop on the corner. And then when you seen the footage of him plowing into all the people, that's nowhere to be seen. So has he gotten all the way down the road? Uber, come and join me if you want me, because need to try. I'm trying to make sense of all this. Also, I want to make a new segment with Uber, maybe once, twice a week, where we look at historic pieces of news footage, and let Uber do his thing with his analysis of it all. It could be good fun. So also we'll be sticking with the girls and their coverage of the Diddy course. Freaking can't get enough of that. Absolute legends. And I've got some very interesting guests lined up. I'm hoping that we'll have a very special Virginia episode, and Emil's coming back on to see us. And who else? I can't remember who else it was. But there's some really good stuff planned for a mega fest on Friday. And yeah, we'll see where we're going. Now, if you guys can please like and share, that would very much make me happy. And I would very much appreciate it. Give me 1 second, everybody. I'm just doing some tests and just sort of learning how to add and remove locations when we're streaming. So I was just checking Twitter that I hadn't activated it yet. So let's have a little read of this. Liverpool parade, latest suspect arrested for attempted unaliving, dangerous driving, substance offences after collision. More than 50 people were hurt in Liverpool parade car collision. Police say they believe the driver of the Ford Galaxy was able to follow an ambulance to avoid road closure. A 53-year-old white man was arrested. Watch and follow the latest blog. All right, let's check this out. If you guys get an echo, let me know.
Multiple pedestrians have been hit at Liverpool FC's trophy parade. I've been here all day covering those celebrations. Then around half an hour after the bus had passed by, there was a commotion. Police sirens and paramedics rushing to help people.
It just went from jubilation and joy. Crowds were dancing, and the bus had just gone past about half an hour before, but the party was continuing. Some people were sort of starting to drift off, but there was still a lot of people on that street. And then we just heard the sirens, saw the paramedics running, and knew something really serious was happening. And
now we've learned that a 53-year-old man has been arrested in connection with this incident. People should be partying tonight, but this is now a crime scene. The bars may be full of people, but they're in shock.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense the more I think about it. But Uber, are you with us?
Is you, mate? Yeah, can you hear me?
Holy Jesus, you are loud. 1 second, let me just turn you down.
I'm sorry, mate.
No, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not you. It's me. It's not you. It's me.
It's not you. It's me. I've got to finish.
Right. It's over, baby. Right. So listen, guys, give me some likes and shares. I would really appreciate it. I'm going to turn on some extra locations just in a minute. But Uber, the more I think about this, the more it doesn't make sense. Okay. The more, how does it get? The footage just doesn't add up to me. Where we seen him plowing into everybody seems to be so far away from where we seen that footage of the door being pulled open. I'm not saying this is like the biggest conspiracy ever when it comes to the event itself. It's clear what happened. It was completely videotaped.
Yeah.
But it doesn't make any sense, mate. Like, if he's so off his nut, how has he driven through what looks like a section out of like a Walking Dead episode, right? It looks like a zombie horde, okay?
Yeah.
And he's managed to get all the way through those people totally kosher, right? Yeah?
Looks like it.
He was following, hang on a second, let's see. Vern Rightly. What is happening, Vern? That is a sick-ass beard you've got there, my G. I'm feeling it. He was following an ambulance that was going to help someone who was suspected heart attack. The road was closed, but police negligence allowed him to follow. God bless My fellow Reds. Why? Okay, well, here's the thing, right?
I'll never walk alone.
Here's the thing. So, Vern, we can boil it down to just incompetency, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the level of incompetency, but again, the only thing that I can give them something on, Vern, is that there's a possibility that all the unmarked police cars were the same color, and when, like I say, when you seen them from like the passenger or the driver's side window up, maybe there was some confusion, because if that had been an extremist, okay, if that had been an extremist with something that goes boom boom in it, all right, that would have been catastrophic. Okay,
Somebody's head would have rolled for that as well.
Catastrophic. Now, they did say there was no intelligence of something like that happening.
Say that again.
But it doesn't. Intelligence can only come in if there's individuals having a conversation. Like, for example, if me and Vern went off on one, right, and we were like, mate, we've got to take out those Domino's pizza, okay, overcharging. It's basically cheese on toast made fancy, right? It's our conversions that make us stand out. It doesn't help you if you've just got crazy, like if freaking Monica decides to go lone wolf, okay? Keeping all of our plans inside her head. She ain't Googling nothing. You know what I'm saying? She's going to library. She's going to library, learn about science, okay? Learn about a sprinkle of hemlock and a dash of, eye of newt. It doesn't stop the lone wolves. And to have had such a major event happen, if there was freaking snipers on tops of buildings, armed police, this...
I find it hard to believe there were snipers.
Listen, I'm not being funny. Somebody did send pictures of snipers. I don't know. Maybe it's just standard procedure. Maybe it's just standard procedure.
A Liverpool Cup
I don't know. It's maybe like for every event where there's 1 million people gathered in the street, it's more cost effective to just pop a sniper somewhere. I don't know. It's one of those unconfirmed Twitter things. Seemed far-fetched to me, though.
I can't see it. I really can't see it.
It did seem far-fetched.
It is.
So
it really is.
How did you know, Ron? But this is the thing. The lone wolf idea.
I really want to know why he did it. We still don't know his motives yet, do we?
Well, some people are saying he was off his nut and basically got terrified of people pulling his doors open and all of this. It doesn't seem off topic, but I have a lead for you. Okay, nice. Off topic, I have a lead for you on the... Yeah, awesome, Yoda. Are you part of the Discord, mate? I'll put up some Discord links in a minute. Because we'd love to hear that.
What's that?
Stanislav, brother. Okay. All right. That might be one to send over to Sean as well. He is on the Staumer.
Oh yeah, he's all over that.
He is on it like a rash, man. So that might be one for his inbox, if that makes sense. Okay, so look, let's have a little read here of the key points. All right, Liverpool suspect.
Direct quotes or
say again, bro?
Any direct quotes, or is it all hearsay and reports?
I think it. Well, what I'm doing just now is I'm just going through the latest from the police and the newspapers, right? So, Liverpool suspect arrested for attempted unaliving and driving under the influence of substances. 11 people out of the more than 50 injured remain in hospital. Couple hit by car tells Sky News they're traumatized. The moment the car hits crowd, okay. 53-year-old man from West Derby in Liverpool remains in police custody. He was arrested on suspicion of attempted unaliving, dangerous driving, and driving while unfit through substances. Mersey police have until lunchtime on Wednesday to either charge or release him. Officers do not believe this was a terror-related incident and said they had no intelligence to suggest something like this was about to take place. Okay. So are we not preparing for the worst and hoping for the best? Is that not how security goes? And we're talking about an event with 1 million people. Okay. Like, you know, I mean, it's a lot of people. Okay. It's a lot of people. I just feel like this is an absolute disgrace. One thing they do believe is that the suspect drove to the scene by following an ambulance, which was responding to a heart attack. That's how they think roadblocks were bypassed, with 65 people injured as a result, including children. 11 remain in hospital or in stable condition. Right, just give me a second. Let me just see what's going on here.
In the space of seconds, a parade turned into panic and mass injuries. A car that began slowly happened streets ahead. The timestamp on this footage appears not critically injured with the surrounding.
Oh my God.
All right, nice. Okay, so this appears to be trauma-free. Okay. So let's have a little watch of this, Uber. This is going to give us some more insights into this.
In the space of seconds, a parade turned into panic.
I'm going to make this full screen. Can you guys still hear it when I do this?
And
Can you guys still hear that?
mass injuries. A car that began slowly nosing its way around pedestrians ended up ploughing into them. This was a terrifying and chaotic incident. Here's what the Sky News data and forensics team have been able to reconstruct in terms of exactly what happened when. This is what everyone was filling the streets to see. The Liverpool team bus on its victory parade, which began at 2:30 in the afternoon. This is the route it took. So that meant road closures. These are all the roads that were shut to traffic, or should have been. And actually, the street where the incident took place, well, the end of that road is where the Liverpool team bus drove right past. Now, Dale Street and Water Street weren't apparently mentioned in the road closures. And ahead of the parade, Liverpool City Council said it had warned people not to drive cars, particularly in the city centre, telling them to walk instead. This is the first time we see the car involved. It's slowly moving west along Dale Street. The timestamp on this footage appears not to have been corrected, reading 4:58, likely meaning it was filmed at 5:58, adjusting for summertime hours. A little bit further down the street, we then see the car again. Somebody can be glimpsed closing a door on the right-hand side, but it's unclear if he was a passenger. The car reverses, hitting a nearby fan. Then the crowd reacts angrily, kicking and punching the car. Blocked to the front by another stopped vehicle, the car then reverses at speed towards a man attacking the back window.
Honestly, right? It never fails to amaze me just how flimsy we are. Like, you're never going to win against physics. Like, you just never are.
The crowd then throws objects at the car as it speeds west along Dale Street. And the man who had been reversed into earlier chases it, smashing the back window with a folding chair. Dale Street turns into Water Street, and less than 100 yards later, on the junction with Rumford Street, police say a roadblock was in place. But this was lifted for an ambulance, and the car was able to follow in behind, despite its already erratic driving and multiple altercations with the surrounding crowd. And after this is when the most damage...
Okay. So let's just get to the end of this and then I'll start picking apart. Also, welcome Agent Orange, who is joining us.
Which was done.
Anyone else who is on the live call-in server, if you just join the room that says want to be on the show, and I'll pull you in. I can see Monica's hanging out there. Maybe you want to come on and have your say. But let me just get to the end of this.
Car swerves right into a thick crowd of people before swerving left again and coming to a stop. If we cross-reference the videos to maps of the street, we can see that the car covers 40 meters in around 9 seconds. That means an average speed of around 10 miles an hour, fast enough to critically injure people. It finished here, with people seen trapped under the wheels of the stopped vehicle. Police officers quickly surround the car as witnesses attempted to stop the driver, who was eventually detained by police.
It's knocked about 6 people over.
Oh my God.
Afterwards, bystanders were seen walking down the road in shock. This was only a short stretch of road, but this was a bank holiday. It was a big occasion. So around 1 million people came to watch the parade. So there were dense crowds everywhere. Police said emergency services responded within a matter of seconds. The questions will now focus on how the suspect was able to drive along at least 2 streets crowded with people, coming into contact with them and causing casualties without being stopped.
Well, I think that's what we're all wanting to know. Like, how is that possible? Because is this part here that we're seeing, this beginning part, right, where we can see the car coming through here, is this meant to be an area where cars can't get through? Is that meant to be an area that's blocked off? Or Angie, as far as I'm aware, Julia is doing as best she can. To be honest, I'm going to probably speak to her in the next day or two, because every time I speak to her, I can't remember what it is that I'm allowed to say. So I'm just saying nothing and just letting you know that she's, doing okay. But I just don't get how it could travel so far. Like, I just don't understand.
I've got an idea.
Okay, hit us with it, Uber. What's your take on it?
Well, remember what I said yesterday when I said that, you know, we saw the video of the guys attacking the car and it all kicking off.
Yeah.
I said yesterday, this could well be just a stupid incident that got out of hand. And that's what I'm starting to really lean towards. Because if you look at it, they're trying to paint the narrative at the minute that he's some sort of nutcase just randomly running over people. But look at what he's doing. If he wants to randomly run over people, why is he stopping and reversing? He could kill hundreds of people just steaming forward in second gear.
That's true. That's true.
So I don't think that was his motivation. I think he either lived down there, maybe had an accident, bumped somebody, somebody's kicked off, and it's just got out of hand, and he's tried to get out of the way. Because he doesn't look like he's trying to terrorize and kill people. He looks like he's trying to escape to me.
What about if you wanted to cause a scene with a car, but wanted to cause the minimal damage that you possibly could? Plowing through a crowd that size and only injuring not actually unaliving. Oh, I don't know.
That's it. You see, theories only really hold water if you can get behind some sort of motivation behind it. And, you know, I can't see any T motivation or wanting to go on a SK spree. He looks like he's trying to escape. Look, they're mobbing his car. There's people actively attacking you. If you were in a crowd like that, people attacking your car, you're going to want to escape because you're outnumbered. Let's be honest.
I mean, I completely agree. There's just as much, weight in that, as any other theory at this point, Uber. Do you know what I mean?
Because we know so little.
But here's the thing.
Hey, Ron, Ron, real quick.
1 second.
I just wanted to make a quick statement. Okay, I'll...
No, it's all right, mate. I had your volume up at like 220, and you just about blew my eardrums out. You're down at like regular 88% now. Carry on, Maji.
Okay. No, I was going to get a couple of things I noticed that these events are common to the actual area, and why are roads being blocked instead of being closed, and why isn't a detour road assigned for emergency vehicles?
Well, I think that's what they were saying. I think there was
because it's all temporary, isn't it? It's not. It's for a cup celebration. All the roadblocks is temporary.
But at the same time, what you're saying is true. I mean, I imagine on the days running up to this, the public will have known. I mean, this isn't our first rodeo in the UK for
100%. We have this every year, don't we?
Yeah.
Cup celebration.
Yeah.
Somebody wins it.
Yeah. So it's just I've never seen anything like this at a cup coming home parade ever.
Just on another note, congratulations to Liverpool, by the way, for winning the cup. I think they did well. So better put that out there for the poor guys considering this.
Sure, I do not follow football at all, so anything that's not
well, I'm a Chelsea supporter, so technically I don't follow football.
Technically, technically anything that isn't full contact isn't a sport. It's just a game. And I'm okay with that, but a lot of people can't accept it. So let me just hit the button. Now, I think we need to all be asking, who is to blame? How can we prevent this from happening again? And how has this been allowed to happen? Because there's a lot of road there's been a lot of road that's been covered. At what point was he not tailgating the ambulance? At what point was he just a crazy driver where there was no police interaction going on with his vehicle? How could it have gotten as far as it did?
Like I said, Ron, I think he either lived down there and was trying to get home, because I've seen these celebrations tons of times, and if you actually live on the street that's blocked, normally they'll let you through. So that's maybe what he said.
I mean, maybe. It seems
you
like,
know, until we know the details, we don't know.
It seems like that honestly seems like a pre 9/11 mindset, if I'm being honest.
It's how people get through the barriers at things like this to get home. They just tell the old bill, I live down here, mate. Can I just park my car? And they'll just let you through.
I mean,
but what they're supposed, I don't think this. I don't know what the rules are in a big one like this. But I mean, if you live down there, the likelihood is the copper's just going to go, all right, go through. Just be careful.
I don't know, man. I mean, like I say,
what normally happens.
I know, but I don't. I mean, how? It just takes one person to say they live down there and then let off a boom.
You get this. Yeah, it's a silly move. It is a silly move. But the thing is, what are the police meant to do? They're there to, and then if you don't let them through, then they've got to deal with the guy who wants to get through.
Okay.
So I can understand the police in that position.
Okay, but again, that's not the official police report. I know that's what you're saying, but he said he was tailgating an ambulance. And
right. Well, they're not going to admit liability, are they?
Surely,
the police aren't going to turn around and say, "Oh, a couple of our guys accidentally let them through."
Surely, right? If there's a rogue vehicle, right, a couple of 100 foot down the road, it would make sense to take some of those big, hefty police vans and kind of, I don't know, make a blockade that the car can't get past. Or I don't know.
Well, this is what I don't understand. How did he manage to get so far in that car with all that commotion and not one copper stop him? Not one copper between where he got in and where it all kicked off. It's all a crowd. There's not one police officer in sight. Probably because they're stretched too thin.
Okay, well, we've just been sent a very interesting bit of footage by the wonderful KLG. So let's pop over and have a look at this. Here is a pretty good shot of the guy's face, or the side peripheral anyway.
In the crowd took the picture of the man that drove into the crowd and injured 50 people, including children. The police identified the individual as a white British male, 53 years old, and the media said the same. Now I'm asking everyone, does this look like a white British male, 53 years old? Does it? I'm asking. Listen, the only thing that the police have to do now is release the picture and the name of the driver. I'm going to say this now. If they lied, things going to get very nasty, because you cannot lie about this. You can't.
Is that a dash cam camera wire coming down from here? Does anybody?
I don't know, but he does not look 53, and I think I know. That's an ex-soldier. Look at the way he's dressed. Look at the haircut.
He definitely.
That's a squaddy cut.
It's definitely a squaddy cut. Definitely a squaddy cut. Definitely.
Combats.
Well, you know, you can see.
They're DPMs.
They are DPMs, yeah.
That's how squaddies dress. That's ex-forces to me. Could be wrong, but that's the vibe I'm getting from that picture. And no, he doesn't look 53 either.
Yeah.
If he's 53, I want to know his face care product.
It's very, very, very sus. It really is. Yeah, again, has anybody got a wire hanging down in their car from their rear view mirror?
That is really, really interesting because
if it's a dash cam, I want to know
where the dash cam is, unless it's in front of his rear view mirror.
It may be one that like fits on, like sticks on to the back of the mirror, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, he looks military, Ron. He looks military, mate.
He does look a bit. If this was a movie, right, and this was like a scene where like the agent whose helicopter went down
Jason Bourne
was like trying to get through the streets of Rajasthan, you know, I would believe it.
He definitely looks military to me. That 100, I'll put money on it. 20 quid says when the information comes out, he's forces. If I'm wrong, that's 20 quid's worth of free memberships.
I just want to see if we end up with like a white-haired, crazy-looking man in his late 60s with a shekel.
No, they ain't got pictures of me yet down there.
So here's another one as well. One moment, please. Oh, video currently unavailable for that last one you sent. The last one.
That's interesting in itself.
Let's try again. Yeah, that last one you just sent me, KOG. The moment Liverpool car is led away by police. That is no longer doesn't exist. I'm with Uber on this. So put a 1 in the side chat if you think we're looking at a ex-military or current military serving individual. Put a 2 if you do not think that it is a military person. Put a 3 if you're just kind of a little unsure. Even the door closing felt tactical. See, it's interesting you mentioned the door closing. Why was snipers on? Okay, thank you.
He's right there, though, Ron, because as he drives off, he doesn't reach out and grab the door. That's what you're trained not to do. He uses the kinetic energy of the car to shut the door, which is what they're trained to do.
Oh.
So that's really quite interesting. That's good. That's a good shout, that, Vern. Yeah, I missed that.
All right, so we've got some footage of allegedly the suspect being led by the police. You know, this is the stuff that's going to get suppressed and squashed. So,
yeah, of course it is. Or they're going to paint him as right wing or something. You watch.
Is that an officer's arm? Or is that a design on the back of his hoodie? Not that it matters, but this is how my brain works.
That's somebody's arm.
Yeah, I think it's someone. Yeah, it's someone's arm. 100%. It's an arm. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. Yeah, because they push your head down and back in.
Yeah.
They cuff you behind your back now. Makes you more
heads down,
manageable. Even prison service are taught to do that now.
Yeah.
That's how they grab you up.
Damn.
It's all crazy stuff, though, isn't it?
It is. It's bonkers, mate.
I really think that this just got out of hand. But if he's ex-military, which he definitely, to me, looks ex-military, 100%. He could have been on a job. He could have been undercover and been on a job. And yet, if he was on a job, let's say SIS at Vauxhall Cross had intel that there was something going to go off. They wouldn't tell the police because they're the last people they'd want to know about it. You know what they're like. Well, I do. I met some of them. They don't tell the police anything. So they're not going to know if there's an undercover job going on by the military because they're not going to be in on it.
Also,
but right. I'm just wondering if he's ex-military, what the hell is he doing? He either lives there or there's something else going on.
Can I just
ask? If he's ex-military.
Can I just ask, right? mums and dads out there in the UK, not so much in America, how many of you have got cars that size? Okay. Put one in the side chat. Like one of these sort of chunky, what are they called? They're not people carriers. They're just big old family chunkers, right?
I don't know.
How many of you do? And then how many of you have all of the rear windows and all the rear windows tinted?
I mean, also on
Because
top of that,
it looks limo tinted.
it does a bit, doesn't it?
And
I didn't see a baby seat in the car.
like
I
limo
saw nothing
tinting.
to suggest family in that car.
Yeah.
There's no kid stuff in there, no toys in there, nothing left behind by teenagers or anything. It just looks like a sterile car.
I mean, at the end of
and it's a type of car that blends in as well, so it could be an op. It could well be.
Nice. We need the reg plate. Oh, the reg plate's been well snapped off. There's a bit of it there.
Yeah. That's it.
Yeah, there's a little bit of.
Oh yeah, by them. Yeah. Not obviously not by him to start with. Then.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if this was an op, if this was a military op, that car would be completely sterile for a start.
Yeah. I mean, listen.
I can't see them having it in a crowd.
It's rarely I say this. Let's keep it. Let's play the police aren't lying to us for fun, right? So he's intoxicated. He's tailgated in his way in. He's managed to maneuver through this crowd, getting his windows smashed, get the doors pulled open, all of that. He then ends up down the road, plows into a bunch of people, injures 50. 11 of the people are still in hospital, traumatizing everybody. And that we're just being told that he was under the influence of substances. I just don't get it. I don't get how it wasn't continuous carnage the whole way. Like Huber said. And let's take away, let's take away, I want to injure everybody. And just imagine the last time you were proper off your nut, trying to drive a car anyway, but then also trying to navigate through close to 1 million people. Like,
I saw a car come around the corner in Brighton. He was completely gone with 3 sheets to the wind, hits a poor girl. And that was an open road, and he couldn't drive in a straight line. Jonathan Ross came out and saw what was going on.
I'm just going to pull Cheyenne as well. Cheyenne, how you doing? Cheyenne, sorry. How are you?
Yeah, not bad. I was at the hospital this morning, but I'm all right.
Yeah, how are things doing? Are you getting better?
No, still the same.
Okay. Well, look. On you go.
I have another view. Sorry, Ron.
Yeah, go on. Tell us on the Liverpool situation.
Yeah.
Yeah, hit us with your thoughts.
Having lived in Blackpool for most of my life, there was many times.
You still there, Shane?
Sorry, yeah, I could hear Uber talking. Sorry, I thought he was talking. That's why I stopped.
Oh yeah, no.
So the amount of times that there's been parades and things on, the locals are warned well in advance that the roads will be closed between certain times, and they don't open any of the roads till everyone is cleared out. So I don't think at all that he's got confused and tried to get home. He lives down there.
You see,
because he would have been aware beforehand.
I agree. And every year we have Hogmanay in Edinburgh, and it is like it's like since 9/11 stuff got real with security.
Yeah,
like they do not mess around. And almost like a mile, right, around the center of town where the party happens.
Yeah.
And I mean, they bring in those huge big, the big concrete bollard things, the big yellow bad boys. And I mean, that's,
Dragon's Teeth, they're called.
Yeah, but I mean, that's like multiple football pitches of length from even the entrance of the party, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that, I mean, that's a ticketed event as well. So there is a budget. It's not just on the council.
I was going to say,
Yeah.
it's a much bigger event than this, isn't it?
Well,
But even
a million people
even
in the
on
street,
public,
a million people in the street sounds about right for Hogmanay.
yeah,
You know, it's just
Yeah, 100% for Liverpool Cup, for a cup celebration. Yeah, definitely.
Well, no, I'm saying for the Hogmanay party, it's about the same.
Oh, easily.
But
Yeah.
It's a much smaller bit of road, bro. Right? I mean, it's like 3 blocks worth of street, and we cram them all in, and then Princess Street Gardens. And it is no joke. I mean, I remember when I used to work in town years ago, getting home the week after Christmas. I mean, it was a nightmare. It was a nightmare. You had once the last bus went and those bollards went down, that was it. It was ghost. It was ghost town, baby. So,
and also during the parades, they always have at all the blockades, whether it's the big dragon teeth one or whether it's cordoned off with something else, they're always manned as well to make sure that people can't get out and possibly move whatever barricade is there.
Yeah,
they're supposed to be manned, especially on a important.
Now, obviously, I cannot, you know, agree or disagree with you, Lewis. But obviously, here's the thing, and I just want you all to not think I'm a psychopath when I say this, right?
I need supervision.
If we want to go full tinfoil hat, right, and we all know about MK Ultra and programmable government stooges and all this kind of madness, right? And you had a government who's clearly being run by a man who is off his nut, like mad, okay, allegedly. And you were getting accused of banging a bunch of like foreign rent boys, right? From your properties being set on fire. And you wanted to just cause a little tiny smidgen, right? And you wanted to go, right, okay, so listen, whatever we do, it has to be a white guy, all right? We've had enough crap this year with the non-white people causing riots. It has to be a white guy, all right? This is what's going on in the board meeting ahead of this. Allegedly, okay? I just want to say, we're just having a conversation here. This is all allegedly. Wouldn't it make sense?
Throwing out ideas.
Wouldn't this, I mean, I'm not being funny. As far as like horrific theories about what our government's willing to do to us, I mean, at least it didn't set off like an explosive. At least like nobody got unalive, really. I mean,
did you say you've seen pictures of snipers, Ron?
Yeah. Can one of my wonderful Discord associates, can you ping me? In fact, I think someone's already done it in my DMs from yesterday.
I did hear about the pew pew thing afterwards as well.
The sniper pew pews. The sniper pew pews, you mean?
Well, you can actually see the rifles, can you?
Yeah, hang on a minute. Somebody sent me some stuff yesterday. Give me a second. Give me a second.
Not a sniper, then it's maybe a marksman. A sniper, you wouldn't see him.
Okay. All right. Terminology bandit. It was definitely marksman.
Okay.
Like it wasn't.
I'm just wondering why they're there then, because this is only a cup celebration. So if snipers are there and we've got somebody in a car doing that in looking like ex-military.
Are we not coming towards the end of the financial year? Is it not like Hail Mary on the budgets right now? Okay, right. Listen, we've got some money left in the marksmanship budget. We better get that spent. Okay, let's
still got a ton of green spot ammo.
Yeah, and I was just about to say they spent the whole budget on this event and then couldn't afford any ammo for the marksman. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just saying.
Or mate, they press their own. Don't worry about that.
Sorry. Where do you go, Shad?
Just because he's wearing camo pants doesn't necessarily mean that he is ex-military.
No, it doesn't. But did you hear what I said when I said, look at him? He's got a squaddy cut.
Yep.
He's got a bomber jacket that a lot of ex-squaddies wear. I know because I hang around with a lot of ex-squaddies. He's got DPMs on. He's looking straight ahead. He doesn't look afraid. That to me says military.
and he swerves off into an area where the crowd is. He was going down the middle of the road where it was a little bit clearer, then darted over to the right into the crowd and then came out again. That's not somebody that's just got scared and is like, oh, what am I doing? Where am I
Because
going?
he wouldn't be reversing
He
for a
does-
start. He was afraid
No.
of it.
Yeah, he does look like
You
he
wouldn't.
shops at like xsquaddy.com. And
100%.
that's
Yeah.
no.
He might even be on an undercover op looking like that, because that's how they tend to dress.
Also, I just want to point out as well the windows
I
don't.
wouldn't have thought so through all the crowd.
The windows don't look tinted here, as well. I can see through the window here. So I'll scrap my tinted window.
Yeah, they don't look.
That wire as well hanging down. I have a dash cam in my car, and because I haven't had it put up through the ceiling under the fabric, I do have a wire, but I don't have mine quite as high as that. But you can get some that clip onto your rear view mirror, that back and forward camera in one, and that clips onto your actual rear view mirror.
Yeah.
So that would have the wire going to the top.
Damn. Oh man. Like, I mean,
but look at he's just looking straight ahead, doing what he needs to do. He's not flapping. He's not afraid.
No, it's not.
It does add a massive extra layer of suspiciousness to all of this.
Yeah, it does. That picture does now for me. Yeah,
he looks more angry than anything. He's got a real pensive look on his face.
That's focus. That's complete focus on his objective, whatever that is. I'm saying military, mate. It's just it's screaming military at me. That is.
I mean, it looks like it's a hoodie he's got on, actually, because you can see the hood at the back.
Could well be. It's either a zip-up hoodie or a dull finished bomber jacket.
Also,
exactly how you would expect.
Also, can I also just
military to be doing a civvy op?
Can I also just say, right? He could also be hyper focused because he's genuinely off his nut on something.
Yes.
Also,
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. But I don't see fear. I don't see any actions or facial features of fear.
No.
I mean, no. I hear
he's
what you're saying.
Definitely not got any fear look on him at all in that shot.
Nah. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's a lot. It's from the side-on view. He doesn't look like he's panicking. He doesn't look flustered. He looks focused. But I mean, this is just a still image. We're taking.
But if you look at his face, he's got a lot of tension in his jaw where his ear is.
Yeah.
You can see the bone that sticks out there when you clench your jaw tight.
That could just be his jawline, though.
There's a lot of tension in his jaw. You can see at the side where his chin is, and the bone at the top where he's holding a lot of tension in his jaw.
Yeah, I'd back that 100%. It definitely looks like a clenched jaw.
Yeah, absolutely.
The thing is, from this angle, I can't say that because I can't see enough to say that's a jaw clenched. That could just be a jawline.
I
can't see enough of his chin or his mouth to see if he's gritting his teeth or anything. It doesn't look like it. That chin looks quite low.
MLK. Hang on a second. What am I talking about? KLG. MLK. KLG. That last one you sent me, the Liverpool parade victim tells GB News. That one won't open either for some reason.
Yeah, I tried to look at some before and they wouldn't open.
Yeah,
they opened, but they wouldn't play.
Yeah, I don't know why that is. It's a little bit suspicious. At this point, guys, if you guys can give me some likes and shares, help me push this out, that would be wonderful. We're going to jump into some more of the headlines because I'm pretty sure in one of those bits of footage yesterday, there was a mobile phone shop. And I do believe this is the owner of the mobile phone shop.
There was, yeah, I remember it.
Talking about this. So, more now from another witness who saw the build-up to the incident, Mohammed Abdar, who works at the A2Z Mobile on Dale Street, saw the vehicle drive past the shop through a really dense crowd. He says Dale Street was packed with thousands of people from the parade, and some were trying to push a grey Ford car back and get it to move. Abdar says he went out of the shop when he heard the commotion of the Water Street incident. He adds he thought the road was supposed to be closed with so many people who turned out for the parade. It's just unreal.
I had friends that were actually there. They were just up the road from where this all happened. Luckily, they weren't involved in it, but they saw it going on.
Yeah,
It was definitely a wild one.
But I mean, here's the thing, even from like a basic police present point of view, the reports of a car and people smashing its back windshield in and all of this should have been picked up on way ahead of time. There's no excuse. There really is no excuse. And I tell you something else. Do you know how much you want to put marksmen on buildings? How about half a dozen really well orchestrated drone operators, Liverpool?
Yeah.
How about that? How about some aerial surveillance? How about How about you take that AI software that can differentiate between people and cars that you use for capturing people's faces, and you apply that to an automated system, right?
Yeah.
If said little square box goes past said red line, alarm bells be ringing.
Yeah.
I noticed something else as well, Ron.
Yeah.
That nobody that was in that crowd having a go at that car seems to have come forward and made a statement.
Well, that's actually ironic because we've just seen reports now of Liverpool parade victim tells GB News the driver tried to kill me. I'm going to try and find it because it didn't open, and we'll get a little bit of a report coming in now.
It's funny that there's only one, though. You would have thought out of all them people have been rushing forward to talk about this.
Well, we'll see.
Maybe they've not been allowed by the police.
Well, that's my point. Why isn't so many people coming forward by now? They're probably being told not to.
Well, it's maybe not.
Because there will have been a massively heavy police presence because of all the
right.
Liverpool guys.
But what's that got to do with telling people not to talk?
You're missing the point here, right? You're missing the point. It's not so much about people being interviewed. It's about where the hell are all the social media posts? Where are the thousands of people?
Nothing.
This is suppression. This is suppression.
100%. It seems like it.
So we're going to see control of narrative coming up into this. So look, we've got
Sky News has spoken.
Sky News has spoken to some of the victims here. We're live from Australia.
To a man who was discharged from hospital this morning after being struck by the car during the incident. Jack Trotter and his girlfriend Abby Gallagher were hit by the car as it drove into fans on Water Street in Liverpool. Here's what they told us.
Uber, just so you know, nothing suspicious about the one guy who was photographed being led away also being the one guy that they're interviewing. Okay? Nothing. There's nothing suspicious there, Rupert. Okay, before you say anything, totally makes sense. They're following this guy. They're going to follow his life now for the next 5-6 years. He's going to get a Netflix
he's
deal.
Made for life, isn't he?
100%
for life.
Okay, and her top Luminize. Okay, Illuminati, Illuminati. No, I'm kidding. Right, let's carry on.
I was taking videos of just random Liverpool fans. So I was, just having a ball and singing away. And then I didn't know anything at all was happening until Abby had started screaming my name, Jack. And then I sort of put my phone down and looked up. And then what happened was the car had just started ramming through people. And then when it sort of got to my level, the car had slowed down and I'd put my hands up, sort of in a way protecting myself, but also trying to say to him to stop. And then he knew fine rightly I was trying to say to stop, and then he just tried to ram right through me. And then as he tried to ram through me, I sort of dodged the middle of the bonnet, but he was able to clip my legs, and then that's just when my back's completely gone now. When he had hit me, I was sort of just spinning around and just hit into loads of people, and then just the adrenaline sort of kicked in, and I just sort of got myself back up. And then that's the first thing I done was try and get the Abbey. And then as soon as I got the Abbey, and then I realised she was okay. And then after that, the adrenaline went off, and then I knew fine rightly I was in a lot of pain. And then I just collapsed on the wall, and she had sort of had to lift me back up.
I was very lucky. I saved myself, but I just pushed off the bonnet. I put my hands against it, so I turned myself. He was coming. I was on the driver's side, and I turned myself to push off. So I was very, very lucky. the whole day yesterday, I was crying and crying, and then tried to pull myself together because he was injured, you know, trying to be strong for him. But we will be scarred by the experience. It's not something you ever expect. It's just heartbreaking, and it's more the families that have been involved and the kids that you think about. You never, like, that could have been one of us. Like, you just never expected it to happen. Honestly, it's heartbreaking.
At the minute now, I'm just in absolute agony. So I am. And then just I can't get it out of my head, to be honest with you. Just the whole it was just traumatic experience. And so, and then obviously hearing there was kids involved, and you know, I was speaking to a guy in the hospital, and you know, his child was involved as well, and it's just, you know, just all traumatic. It's just a traumatic experience of it. I've never had someone try and, you know, essentially kill me before. Do you know what I mean? Like, he knew fine rightly what he was doing. He knew what he was trying to execute here. You know, this was no accident. You know, he knew fine rightly what he was doing here. So he was, you know, and it's just the thought that someone actually tried to seriously injure me or kill me. It's really getting to me, like, so it is. And you know, I've got a little boy back home, and you know, I've got a little boy back home, and you know, it's just a thought that
are you analysing this?
You know,
I am, mate. That's
what I thought you were doing. That's my G.
He could have potentially been taking me away from him, if that makes sense. It's just I just can't get my head wrapped around it.
Uber, do your thing, because I have no idea. Like,
I'm not buying it, mate. I'm not buying it. There are so many red flags there. He talks about how we feel. Oh, you do this. What do you mean us? Tell me how you're feeling. I believe her more than him.
Okay.
He uses sort of, kind of, he uses what we call weakening modifiers.
Okay.
Minimizing adverbs. He slips into present tense very, very briefly. He's embellishing what happened.
I was about to say, could that be a result of him just could that just be a result of him hamming it up?
Oh, he's definitely embellishing it. Yeah, he's sprinkling a little on the top of it.
Hang on, just one at a time. When you go over.
He's definitely sprinkling something over the top of this cake, 100%.
Okay, so
because it's just he there's too many red flags, and he goes into present tense. He uses all these red flag words.
Could that be just down to him milking it? Because I'm telling you now, I would be
exactly
milking
what
it.
I think's happening.
I would be milking it. I would be milking this. I would be hardcore milking it. Oh, that's all I'm saying. If some nutter
100%.
tries to run me over during a parade, milking
and the
it.
thing is, I'm even seeing what I'm gonna see. I'm with Scott Rouse on this. I don't like saying it's Jupiter's delight, but I swear I'm seeing Jupiter's delight as he goes for his money shot. He smiles, and so does she. So they're both embellishing the same bit. She's not as much as him. She's a lot more honest than he is.
Yeah, I'm all right with it.
He's really putting some sprinkles on the top of his cake, that one.
I'm all right with it.
They're just hearing ka-ching. That's what it is.
That's fine.
And saying they're traumatized, can't get over it. You know, a lot of what
doesn't seem too traumatized to me.
Well, look,
no, it doesn't.
Look, I'm all right
and
with
there's
it.
no pain in his face at all.
Nope. Yeah. Well, look, I'm absolutely fine with it. You get hit by a crazy guy during a parade with your missus, you get a milk it pass from Ron. So,
of course, but don't be surprised if I see through your silliness.
Oh yeah, but that's all right. That's all right.
This is where they let themselves down, because by doing all these interviews, they then will be involved. If he decides to take them to court to get compensation, blah blah blah, all these interviews will be pulled up.
Of course they will. And we still don't know what the motives were for doing it. We still don't know what the hell went on.
Again, though.
We'll have a clearer picture once we get told what he's actually said in the interview.
Yeah, well, I just want to say.
Yeah, but it might not even be towards the guy.
Wait, can I just say, there's one thing we're all forgetting here. It's really interesting that the only person willing to talk to the press or the police is an Irish dude, because you know that
that's hamming it up.
Because the Scousers ain't going to the cops. I'm telling
No.
you now, there'll be no
know that.
no eyewitness reports from anyone from Liverpool. But nah, mate, didn't say nothing.
Why?
Do you know what I'm
That's
saying?
the one,
It'll be
that's
big.
why.
It'll be Big Terry
No-
down. It'll be
No
Big
snitches
Terry.
in Liverpool.
Big Terry down the Travelers campsite that they all call up Big Terry. We've got his freaking license plate, and it'll be Big Terry that takes care of it. I'm just saying, don't be
That's why
expected.
you can't see any of the ones that were trying to smash the car because they're already taking their own action.
It's going to be,
You know,
it's going to be like the zero eyewitness testimony accounts taken from Vegas after the Tupac and Biggie assassinations. It'll be the same thing here. Okay.
Yes.
I'm just
They're no
saying.
better than to put the face on the TV, giving interviews.
I just can't wait to find out what this was all about.
Right.
When it was like the Christmas one last year or whenever it was, that was a guy that had been out drinking and had an argument with his baby mama, and that's when he drove through the whole Christmas parade.
But that's not what this guy was doing here, though, is it? He doesn't look
Well,
like.
no.
Can I just
Don't know
interject
what
here? Can I just
has caused
interject?
this one yet?
No, exactly. That's what I said. But all I'm saying is, it doesn't, to me, look like he's going out to use his way to kill people.
Can I
He's
just
gonna
ask you,
kill a hell of a lot more and injured a lot
have any
more.
of you ever seen or heard of a TV show called Mr. Mercedes?
Heard of it? I don't think I've seen it. It's not.
Right, it's got this big dude in it. I just want to say, if we ever do like a badass Santa movie, right, where Santa is like kicking some ass, it's this guy. That is that guy. Yeah. Yes.
Brendan Gleeson.
Yes, that guy.
Yeah.
Legend.
Brendan
Right.
Gleeson.
So he's in
Great
the whole
actor.
thing, and it's about
Yeah,
a
that's
guy.
it. I've seen it,
It's
yeah.
about a guy who plows through a crowd of people at Christmas. And I think they're all looking, I think they're all outside a job fair looking to try and get a job and camping out. And it is
I vaguely remember hearing
so,
something like that
it's
story.
such
I don't
an
know where.
unhinged, incredible series. I can't remember what happens if it's one of these annoying things where you get 2 seasons and then they don't get a 3rd season to conclude the episode, it concludes the story. It might be that scenario. But if you haven't seen it, go on. It's awesome, but it's nasty. The episode 1 is where clearly most of the budget went, so be aware. But it's about hackers and a serial unaliver, and it's a bit mad. Now, let me just go back into a little interesting point here from this gentleman. Dal Babdu, pictured in 2013, says it doesn't take rocket science to predict what will happen. The far right will twist this and say, right, you've named him because he's a white person. Why aren't you naming the next person? Like, has anyone ever seen that movie where, like, is it Jean-Claude Van Damme or is it Tom Cruise that goes into the future and like arrests you for stuff you've not done yet? Right? Because is this not like saying, like, if a white dude went online and said, oh, I mean, I'm pretty sure where people have gone to jail for sending out tweets that are close to this. Okay, Merseyside police officer's decision to release details of the ethnicity of the suspect in the Liverpool parade collision has raised difficulties and challenges for the forces in the future, a former superintendent has said. Merseyside police said that they arrested a 53-year-old white British man from Liverpool area about 2 hours after the incident. What do you mean they arrested him 2 hours after the incident?
They had him straight away.
Let's just assume that's just bad journalism. I don't know.
Or it may have been that they took him to the hospital first.
Or
you
it
never
may
know.
have been that tower just fell down by
He would have been
itself.
under arrest at the
Okay,
hospital
and the
already.
BBC just accidentally reported on it before it fell down, even though it was miles away from the first 2 towers. But we don't talk about it. Let's not talk about it. Okay, so anyway, let's go back to this. Dalba, who is the senior Met officer, told the Guardian's First Edition that the decision was unprecedented. Unprecedented? What? But he could envisage pressure being applied to. Are we about to see some legislation pushed through where they're no longer going to tell the ethnicity of people on the crimes? Is this what's happening?
I think we're going to see somebody
Is that what's
getting in
happening
trouble
here?
for letting cars through.
Is that what's happening here?
Yeah. But just because he's white doesn't mean he's white British. He could be a whole
But they
number of
took his
different
details, wouldn't they?
ethnicities.
So
Okay, let's carry on. It
hopefully
doesn't take a
if they're
rocket
reporting
scientist.
right. The police took his details. They would know he's British.
Yeah, well, if he was off his nut, I can't imagine he was giving over fairly accurate details. But again, we don't know.
Maybe
We're
not.
speculating.
Maybe not.
Okay, it doesn't take a rocket science to predict what would happen. The far right will twist this and say, right, you've named the race because he's a white person. Why aren't you naming the race of the next person? And it will present some difficulties and challenges for the police, he said. Babu stressed the decision had been correct to share the information on this occasion to combat racist, Islamophobic misinformation.
How would there be?
So you're all right him being called far right, but not racist or Islamist.
So
I don't get it.
just to be clear, in fact, no, I'm not going to say that. I'm just going to move on. White person, you aren't going to Babu strengthened the decision. Every decision. Hang on a second. Racist. So, okay, stop, brain, stop. On social media, well, warning that every decision should be taken on a case by case basis. Now, I just want to point out they're referencing something here that was apparently we were all right wing lunatics because 3 young girls lost their lives in a dance studio, and apparently all of the riots were incited by locals craving and calling for violence. And all of this was debunked by a national, whatever the bloody what is it called? Inquiry. So it seems like they're wanting to continue to push this narrative that white members of the UK population are all right-wing fascists who will go to Twitter the first chance they get to spread lies about Islam. What the frick has Islam got to do? Oh, just going to calm ourselves down. Okay, we're reading on. You could imagine a situation where the far right will say, could you imagine a situation? I could imagine a lot of situations. Let's all just imagine a situation, okay, and then just apply it here. Okay, mine's got jetpacks. I don't know how creative you're getting. You can imagine a situation where the far right will say, oh, you haven't named the ethnicity of this person, and that's because they're a person of color, he said. It's really important that people don't see it as a precedent, because every incident will be different. People may feel in a future incident that they're entitled to know the ethnicity and race, and it may not be appropriate to release, he said. Oh God, I want to smash something like that. See that?
Wow.
See that?
Yeah.
See that?
People like him that are the problem, because he's deliberately putting the race card up and playing it.
Yeah.
And why?
Absolutely.
Nobody mentioned it. You mentioned it. We didn't mention it. It's these clowns like this that cause racial tension.
Also, can I just
because there is none until somebody like that opens their idiotic mouth.
Yeah. Also, can I just point out another way that they probably had to announce the ethnicity? Probably something like this was a big factor in it too, right? The fact that there's a massive photograph of the white dude driving the car.
Yeah, that could have helped.
That's what I said before. There's no, didn't need to say, because it was evident. You could see that it was a white guy there in that picture right there.
Right. Okay. Anyway,
he certainly doesn't look 53 to me.
Let's see how long it takes for Ron to get triggered again. Right. Okay.
Ron.
Yeah.
I think it was Charles said before. Look up at Julesy Bob's comment in the side chat.
Yeah, Ron's. Yeah, Ron. That's the. Thank you for passing on the message. Right. A senior legal source said there could be circumstances where naming the ethnicity of a suspect could cause riots rather than quell them. Well, what will a force do if they arrest someone in a similar circumstance who recently arrived on a small... What? Oh, God. I'm sorry. So they're not even caring about the British Islam, Muslims that are apparently going to get triggered, we're back to being concerned about these illegal migrants.
I don't get why they're pushing this narrative, to be fair.
Oh, I can tell you.
They want to draw our focus to it for some reason.
I can sum that up for you once we get to the end of this, and it's everybody just needs to.
Go on, we'll let you cook, Ron.
It's a secret. I'll tell you. Yeah. I'll tell you. Okay. What will? Okay. You know, we're not going to read that bit again because it's just going to annoy me. Let's see what these three smart-looking individuals have to say. Jesus Christ.
Over 500,000 happy Swift customers can't be wrong. Or at least that's what we tell ourselves.
This had been a joyous day in Liverpool with hundreds of...
I'm sorry, I heard that wrong.
This had been a joyous day in Liverpool with hundreds of thousands of people lining the streets to celebrate Liverpool Football Club's victory parade. Sadly, at 6 o'clock this evening, as the parade was drawing to a close, we received reports that a car had been in a collision with a number of pedestrians on Water Street in Liverpool city centre. A number of people have been injured and were taken to hospital. In addition, a large number of people of all ages were treated at the scene but did not require hospital treatment. The car stopped at the scene and a 53...
Oh, hang on. Why does she look like this? This is what you call British stiff upper lip, Vern. If you haven't ever...
It's called a good old British press script.
Yeah, if you've never witnessed good old British tough upper lip, you're witnessing it for the first time here, Vern. In fact, Vern, I'm pretty sure you're from Liverpool or something. Actually, or you're not. Maybe you are from the UK, but that's what you're looking at, my G. That's what you're looking at.
He supports Liverpool. I'm going to have a wild stab in the dark there.
Yeah, I think he does support Liverpool. Yeah, that's right. I don't even know anything about football, so I know when Liverpool just won the cup. Nailed it.
Neither did Liverpool.
Nailed it. And other than that, all I remember is because I'm half Italian, right? And growing up, witnessing my Italian family watching World Cups, like. It was intense, man. Like it is intense. South London, born and raised. Just make up words, Ron. Just make up words. Right, we're going to get on with this.
3-year-old white British man from the Liverpool area was arrested. We believe him to be the driver of the vehicle. Extensive inquiries are ongoing to establish the circumstances leading up to the collision, and it is vital that people do not speculate or spread misinformation on social media. What I can tell you is that we believe this to be an isolated incident, and we are not currently looking for anyone else in relation to it. The incident is not being treated as terrorism. We would ask that people refrain from sharing distressing footage from the incident online, and please share any information directly with our investigation team.
Sadly, 4 of the injured were children who were enjoying the day with their friends and their families. We can confirm that our teams treated 20 patients at the scene for minor injuries, and these did not need hospital treatment. 27 patients in total were taken to hospital by ambulance, and we believe 2 of those, including one of the children, have sustained serious injuries.
All right. Okay, there's some abrupt editing there, but that's
You know what she didn't say but should have said?
Oh.
She should also have said this. We don't believe this to be a racially motivated attack, but she did not say that. She should have done.
Well, I think it's just, honestly, man, we're just, you can share the Legion link, mate. Yeah, of course you can.
And treating all those people for minor injuries. Does that sound like somebody went out of their way to kill and injure people?
No, I agree.
No.
I agree. I think for as far as how badly this could have went, right? This is not a bad outcome for man drives into crowd.
They got lucky. They got lucky that it wasn't a lunatic wanting to kill people.
I just feel, I don't know if I believe that this is all the footage. Like, 1 million people, at least 1 in 4 of them are going to just constantly have their phone out. Like,
but as she's just said, they don't want people sharing footage. So
yeah, well, they can suck their mums because I've got an email address. I've got an email address, and I can see things. You know what I'm saying? I want to see things because I want to know how far this car traveled from the phone shop piece of footage, right, to him plowing into all those people. I want to see evidence of this tailgating of this ambulance. And I want to know why the only car that seems to have gone rogue looks almost identical to all the other Mercedes that are parked around, the big grey ones, when there's a crowd of people around them and you can't see the car badges. There's a lot.
Apparently the reg plate is not coming back as registered on DVLA.
Well, that does not surprise me one bit. Okay.
Yeah.
But these are little details. I swear to God, man. See if we get a photograph of this guy, right? And it genuinely looks like a toothless homeless boy with like long white hair, and they do the old switcheroo. Because we need more. Like I say, if they're going to say that he was off his nut on substances, then I mean, I think he did a pretty good job. If he was completely off his nut on substances, because I want to see the length that he traveled. Okay, hang on a second. We've got
it's Liverpool. And in the main city, there's not a chance there isn't cameras on every building, on every corner, on every street.
And so I've just got a bit of footage here, right, of a guy being held down in the street. Now that's not the driver, just so you know. That was just a dude. As the driver.
Well, apparently, the guy they arrested wasn't the driver. Apparently.
Okay, well, they definitely arrested the driver. I would imagine, because if not, he would have been murdered by all the Liverpool people. Allegedly, unalived, I should say. So this bit of footage yesterday was the latter part of a bit of footage where you've seen the footage. Do you remember the footage we seen yesterday, Uber, of what we thought was him being bundled into the side of that van?
Yeah.
This is the part after that's happened, where this guy is getting pepper sprayed. He was standing and screaming and shouting out with that. Now, we assume that was the guy being arrested and put in the van, but it wasn't a paddy wagon. It looked like a side entrance of a vehicle, so it could have been something, but it wasn't like he was put in the back of the paddy wagon with a little cell in the back and the two big, like the cage door and then the regular door. It was a side door, if that makes sense. The reg is legit. Okay. The driver was not arrested. Oh man, we are speculating wildly here today, people.
No, this is all the stuff that's been being put out. I've seen loads of different things.
Oh yeah, I mean, I get there's loads of things that have been put out, but we've just got to use our level-headed brains right now, because this to me is the banger of the day.
I don't think it was accidental. I think it was intentional.
See, the only thing that I can go with, right, is I just cannot see someone tailgating their way in. I can't see it. Okay? Can't see it. I then cannot see if this was a lone wolf terror attack that he done such a pitiful job. Okay? Because he could have just went bananas. Okay? And if you were going to pre-plan this, maybe pick a more catastrophic vehicle. You know what I'm saying? Maybe something with a bull bar, bit of an off-roader, go crazy. It just seems all too odd. It really does just seem odd. The guy looks way younger than 53. He's got that essence of militarized essence about him. It's just weird. It's altogether weird. I don't understand. I can't, and I tell you something else that really annoys me is the fact that all of the cars we've seen, this one, the one that was also stationary to this, in the bit of footage where they were outside the phone shop, and the Mercedes that was parked at the event afterwards, all looked so goddamn similar from halfway up the side of the car to the top of the car. Like, they just look so similar. Like, is this being allowed to check news on Discord? Right, hang on. Oh, Pamelama's in there too. Pam, I'll get you in a second. Hang on a second. We are Legion. Uber, is Cheyenne dropped out the call?
No, sorry, I'm here.
No,
I just moved.
No,
I've had to mute my
that's fine,
mic
mate.
because my son came in, so I just muted it quick.
That's fine.
But he's
don't
gone
worry.
again now.
Yeah, that's fine.
But I am still here.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so someone's telling me to check the newsroom. I'm looking for the newsroom. I can't find the newsroom.
Jules is saying he's been released.
Yeah. Released from hospital, maybe.
I don't know, but before when you were saying about the rampage and everything, like I said, I do think it was deliberate, but if he wasn't mentally altered by drink or rugs,
yeah,
when you're plowing down kids, because obviously there was a lot of kids there, if you are a normal, well-balanced person, that is going to kind of hit you somewhere. And maybe once he started, he was like, oh, I can't do this. And that was why we were seeing the hesitation. I don't
Sorry,
know.
I'm just going through the newsroom. I was on the wrong server, so I apologize, everybody. Liverpool Parade. Yeah. Okay.
Everybody, please like and share the stream. If you can't see the like button, come out of the chat for a moment, press like, and then re-enter the chat.
Also, can we just talk about the frickin' I found we might have to talk about this at the end of today. The Prime Minister of France getting absolutely slapped by his missus. Like, it's a madness. It's a madness. But this is more prevalent for me. So I'm just going through the Discord. Oh, the red. Yeah, the red is definitely a reflection if you're talking about this. That's definitely a reflection. So yeah, there is a bit of a lack of crowd going on. It's just all really odd. That other image, we've got a William Hill behind the individual too, when he's driving. And again, for finding out where we can pinpoint the car at certain times is going to help us put together an actual narrative on this.
Yeah. But if the police have already got that, which they will have done, or if not, they will be getting it as we speak. They're not going to release it till they absolutely have to. And even then, they might be a little bit selective with what they release.
Yeah. So let me just check on what's going on here. So okay, Liverpool Parade car incident. There doesn't seem to be. Liverpool driver held on suspicion. Police have been given more time to question the guy, so he's definitely still banged up. Definitely still banged up. Now, what is this? Liverpool Echo. Whoa, that is a lot of white website. There we go. Footage shows unseen journey of car driven into Liverpool fans parade. Oh, yeah? Oh, yeah? Where can we see all that? Okay. One moment. Okay.
That's a final.
CTG shows the final movements of a Ford Galaxy car in Liverpool city centre before it was driven into pedestrians.
Yeah, it's an SUV, isn't it?
So is this the footage? Oh my god! Listen, guys, it just so happens that he decided to park directly under CCTV. Okay.
The windows at the black back definitely look tinted.
Yeah, you see, I thought that, but then I decided that because they all look pretty tinted, to be honest. And then
we do it at an angle.
We seen a bit of footage, and we could see
they might have a slight tint to them.
They might have a slight tint. Yeah.
My car has tinted at the back, and from the inside, when you look through it, it doesn't look tinted, but from the outside, it is.
Yeah. That does not look like the behavior of somebody who's just about to go on a rampage in that car.
So what? It's just the car's just. Oh no! Wait, hang on. It's not this car. It's this car. It's the car with the big circle round it. Uber. Why does everyone have the same car?
Oh, there we go.
Why do all the cars?
Yeah, that's tinted.
They're all grey. They're all grey cars with silver stripes on the top of them.
Definitely tinted windows, aren't they?
What is going on? Why are all?
That's interesting.
Why? Grey car, silver things on the top. Grey car, silver things on the top. Grey car, silver things on the top. Is this a massive Matrix glitch? Like, has someone just spawned in like a whole bunch? Like, as a hacker came into our planet and just done that spamming vehicle hack that people do in like Call of Duty. Okay, let's not talk about it. Let's not worry about that. Okay.
Is that all the footage you've got of that little bit just passing?
I don't know. And if it is, why did we have to wait 45 seconds for it to start? And
exactly.
And then why are they making out like I did a whole thing about why they parked it? Oh, there's the ambulance. There's the freaking ambulance. Okay, hang on. Okay.
Blue Flivers has had a look at this, and she's got a little bit of footage. She said he's beeping his horn as well.
Okay, look. Can we just look at this for a second, right? Hang on. It's perfect to confuse people, right? Okay, so let's look at this. We're just going to watch this like grown-ups, and we're all going to behave ourselves. All right. So we have only grey cars with silver stripes on them. That's all that's existing here. All right.
Oh, there's the black one.
And and apparently a glowing sphere, like rectangle. Okay, so then we should see an ambulance. There's the ambulance. So tailgating would mean the next car. Okay, now we've jumped forward in time. Hang on a second. Did anyone?
There's the ambulance.
Okay, so that's 5:54. So we're now over a minute since the ambulance. There's two cars that all look the same in front of this car. Oh.
Yeah, that's not tailgating.
Why are they all grey? What is going on? Is that another row of grey cars? Is that a grey car? And is that a grey car? And is that a grey? Why are all the cars grey?
And they're both Mercedes.
Why are all the cars grey?
Well, no, it was the Ford Galaxy, the one that.
Oh, the red car! There's a red car. I see a red car. All right. Okay, we're good. Oh, there's a blue one. Okay. Oh God. Okay, so this guy is clearly off his nut. Just about ran over that person. But
those other two cars pulled off for him then to be behind the ambulance is not tailgating.
We can arguably say this road is not closed off. This is roads being closed off.
100%.
Area. 100 million%. Okay.
Yeah, but this could be one of the surrounding roads.
It's obviously 100% one of the surrounding roads.
Yeah.
So everyone's just living their life. This guy's going to turn, and then Gomer is just going to go for it. Oh, that mum. Also, what are you doing, love? Did she just take a buggy? Oh yeah, that was a poor choice. Just walk down the middle of the road with your buggy head. That's brilliant.
Yeah, that's almost suicidal, isn't it? Really, with your kids as well.
Okay, now here. Okay, so here we are again. Ford Galaxy seen now moving past Moorfield Station and continuing along Dale Street towards Water Street. So again, we just have to assume this is an open road, and man, what else can we find?
Has anyone Googled what the route was?
He looks very impatient. It looks like he's trying to push his way through that crowd.
I think they must still be figuring it all out. If I'm being honest.
From what I can see, from what I can make out so far,
where is the footage being shown? As I can't see it on YouTube. Are you talking about this footage here? I'll show you the link. It's on the Liverpool Echo page. If this is the footage you are talking about,
I think this is an incident that got out of hand. That's what it's
right. The
looking like.
route, the Liverpool parade route, was Queen's Drive, Millbank, West Derby Road, Islington, Leeds Street, the Strand, and finishing at Blundell Street.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Sorry, I didn't realize you meant the parade route. Oh, freaking hell, Pamela! I forgot about you, Pam. Sorry,
yeah,
Pam.
Gav, you got
Pam.
a good point. He doesn't look off his face there, does he?
No, this is pretty good driving. I'm going to be honest with you. The fact that we've only seen 2 other cars that are a different color has really triggered me. I feel like all I'm going to be seeing now is silver cars everywhere. Now, they describe mayhem. We've been through the hypocrisy.
Dan, you need to name those people that can figure out the whole route with the city cams.
He ain't going to tell us nothing, man. You know, I think there was a massive. If this wasn't anything conspiratorial, okay, and this was just a guy off his nut, followed him in, whatever. Was his name Ronnie Pickering? 10 out of 10, mate. 10 out of 10.
I think Pam's still waiting to come in as well, bless her.
Yeah, no, Pam's here. It's all right. Ron can do his job. Ron knows what he's doing. Don't worry. So, if this was that, I can't get my head around it. I can't get my head around it. I mean, it could have been a situation though where he ran over one person's ankle, they've reacted, he's jolted forward, that's hit another person, and then they've all reacted. That's
what I'm thinking.
It was a chain of events, but I'm just not seeing it.
Not seeing what?
I'm just not seeing that as a plausibility.
Well, I am.
I know that you are. I know that you are, but I just don't get it. I don't get it.
Because the accident
it makes total
was on
sense
Water
to me.
Street.
It doesn't look premeditated. He doesn't look like he's actively trying to hurt people.
Yeah, but it doesn't.
It just looks like an incident that's gone mental.
You're assuming that his outcome that you wanted, you're just taking it from one angle, which is he was.
Well, no. I'm just saying, looking at from the behaviour that I see, I don't see somebody actively trying to kill people.
Well, who says that was his outcome or that was his motive? That's what I'm saying.
Nobody. I'm not saying. I'm not. That's been the theory that he. What I'm saying is, I don't. It doesn't look to me like that's a premeditated attack on civilians. So anybody pushing that theory, I don't know where they're coming from. I just don't. There's nothing there to suggest that there's a premeditated attack on innocent civilians. Nothing at all.
How have you got that conclusion? How have you got that conclusion?
Because the way he's driving, the way he's behaving, he reverses. Like we agreed earlier, didn't we, that he doesn't look to be driving like he's actively trying to hurt people.
Correct.
But he does because he swerves to the
right.
right.
What I'm saying is, he could have run people over.
Listen, honestly, I'm not. I just need to remind everybody, right? If I need to mute you, I need to mute you. We're not having a big open discussion here, okay? So, for me, what I'm seeing here is somebody who didn't want to kill anybody. I can
agree with that.
Oh, they're still going at it. I can definitely agree that I don't see somebody driving who's trying to unalive a bunch of people, for sure.
Right.
Because if it was his objective to score maximum points, okay, then
you wouldn't stop or reverse.
He wouldn't stop or reverse. But if his objective was to cause a scene, he nailed it. He nailed it.
100%. Yeah, he grabbed people's focus, didn't he?
I think the reason he reversed was to get the guy off that was trying to smash his back window.
Do you know, it reeks of a government that wants to show people that, hey, just to remind you all, the whiteys are capable of crazy things too, and
Possibly,
not to jump to conclusions because it can be dangerous. Oh, we've just realized how dangerous it can be naming the ethnicity of people. Let's slap some new legislation in that basically means that if you're from a certain demographic, you'll be treated differently because we can't have any animosity being projected to certain demographics. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
All she had to say in that press conference was, we don't believe it was a racially motivated attack. That would quash.
But I don't know why they would say that anyway.
Cheyenne, please, mate. That would quash all of the racist stuff. If they said, we do not believe it's a racially motivated attack. That takes that race card out of everybody's hand, then, doesn't it?
Well, I mean, if you believe
why
what
would
they're saying.
anyone think it was racial?
Well, they are, aren't they? I don't know why they're thinking it, but they clearly are. Well, and they're obviously thinking it to mention it.
It was the report, Cheyenne, from this dude, right? Let me bring him back up on the screen here. This guy here. Hang on a second. Dal Dabu. It's not rocket science to predict what would happen. The far right will twist this and say, right, you've named him because he's a white person. Why aren't you naming the next person? And he goes on this tangent about how Islamophobia needs to be quenched and how we need to consider the lives of the people coming over on boats, and we don't want them to be persecuted effectively. And I'm sorry. Oh, hang on a second. The wonderful Mr.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know why he's saying that, because if it's a white British man driving through a crowd of white British people, how could that be misconstrued as racial?
It's a subtle way to try and stir up racial tension. That's, in my opinion, this is exactly what this man's trying to do.
Which is why I don't see why the woman doing the statement would have said it isn't racially motivated, because it just doesn't make sense anyway.
What do you mean?
Okay,
because why would?
Okay, so there's been a lot of so Cheyenne, right? So this all stems from the riots that happened last year, all of the legislation that has been pushed through since then, and this to me seems like a perfect opportunity for further legislation to be pushed through under the guise of we're all mad racists here and fully right-wing lunatics in the UK, that as soon as an event happens, we all assume it's a brown dude on a religious frickin' mission. And it's just a bit insulting. A little smidgen, right? There's a smidgen. But that's what they're saying. Okay, I'm not saying that. You're not saying that. That guy, this guy here, this guy, Dal Badu, this dude right here, he's saying it.
Yeah. Yeah. I wonder why. Just saying.
Listen, I was just trying to say exactly what you were saying, but we've got to use even more tact than that. Okay, we've got to be super tactful.
We've got to be creative.
Yeah, no. I'm assuming what you mean is because he's a member of the police force, he has got an educated point of view on this situation. Yeah. Fantastic analogy. Because for me, just. Right, Twilight, just a little tiny bit. So Ron has got a bit sick and tired of this absolute nonsense that's taking place in this country. The government is a treasonous government. Okay, this government, what is it when like the ship, it's like, no, that's a terrible analogy. It's treasonous, okay? The people of this country, the people who are born here, the people who legally travel here from other lands and settle here legally and like do a job and contribute, right?
Yeah.
Those people should be first for national resources. I'm not a super smart dude, right? And I know if I've got 10 mouths to feed, right, and I've got enough food for 10 people, and then my wife that comes home and has found 47 other people to bring home, I don't know how the maths add up. I don't know how the maths add
Word
up.
with your wife.
Yeah, you know, innit?
I don't
There needs to be some
know.
divorce papers coming out.
Yes, Lincolnshire Templar. Yes, correct.
So let me get this right. This guy is a former superintendent, yeah, and he's coming out with this. He's subtly indicating on the racial part of it.
Basically,
when all they have to say is, "We don't believe it's racially motivated."
Yeah, but none of us would
That
believe
would quash it all.
None of us would believe him. They told us to put on masks.
Well, probably not now. No, what they could have done.
They told us all to get vaccinations in it. Like, it's going to be a while. It's going to be a while.
Yeah, but you can see it's not a racially motivated attack anyway.
Yeah.
He's hitting white Irish people and his girlfriend. You know what I mean? That's not a racial attack.
Right. Again, though.
Obviously got something against the Irish.
Yeah.
Maybe, yeah.
It's just mad.
But somebody else was saying that the footage of him travelling on the road that we just saw then, a camera from the other side shows that a woman walking past turns and looks at him because he's pipping his horn and waving his arm about at that particular bit of the road.
All right.
People to get
But
out of the
from
way,
the
probably,
side
by
that
the
we
end
were
of it.
looking at, we couldn't see it.
Do you know what
Sorry?
else? Do you know what else, actually? I'm going to put 10% of my chips on the gambling table, right? And I'm going to put 10% of my chips on undercover government agent going to foil some terrorist plot, and it just went horribly wrong. I could see that happening. I could see it being some Jack Bauer scenario that just went horribly wrong for some reason, right?
Well, I'm raised into half my chips on it just being an incident that got out of hand.
Yeah, I'm definitely
blind pre-flop.
I've still got some of my chips on the fact that he was aiming to hit some people because there were shots that he did deliberately turn into a big group of people.
Pam, how are you doing?
Yeah.
How are you?
I'm fine.
What's your
I'm
take?
good, thanks.
What's your take on all this?
Well, the thing is, they're always going to put, whenever something happens, they always put it down to something that's racially motivated. But, you know, until they realize that they're wrong. But, you know, I just can't understand that the guy that was in the car didn't see like the huge amount of people that were there in the road, you know, supporting Liverpool. How could he have, unless it was intentional, why would he have gone there? Do you know what I mean? He would have seen that there's loads of people. He would have seen that.
I just Googled the roads, and the road where this incident happened wasn't even part of the parade.
Was it not? But even as he had gone, even just say, for example, there wasn't, it was clear. Yeah, like you're saying, it was clear. As he had gone there, he would have eventually realized I'm kind of stuck, and he should have just either stayed there, or because the thing is, he wouldn't have been able to.
I'm sorry.
He wouldn't have been able to go back because then there was. You know, in these parades, you know, like there's always loads of people. You can't say, "Oh, I went in there by accident and I drove into people and I didn't mean to."
Yeah.
When you see that there's loads of people there,
it is effectively what you're saying there, Pam. Is there's better routes to take, right?
Yeah.
If you're just trying to get past whatever, if you're just normal guy on the road, better routes to take. I completely agree. I mean,
and they would have known. They most probably would have known that there was a Liverpool, you know, because Liverpool won, because that's what they do when they win. You know, when they win their games, they have that massive
of course. Well, any team does, but I guarantee you, we're going to be hit with. This was a dedicated Uber driver just trying to make his drops, and
he doesn't know how to drive.
Yeah, I just can't figure it out, mate. Because when you,
common sense depicts that if you've gone into that situation unintentionally,
Yeah.
you would just stop and put your hands up and go, "Oh my God, I am so sorry.
Yeah.
Can you just clear the way and I'll get through without any issue?" But to keep
But with people
going,
banging on
To
your
be
roof
fair, he
and
would
trying to
never.
smash the window,
He would have never have
makes it a
gone.
bit different.
I get what you're saying,
Yeah, but
Sharon,
he
but
would have
that's
ever
we
not.
don't
got
know
through.
how far down the road he got till that incident happened. That's part of it.
Exactly my point.
But then why? But then also there's only like one camera that you can see that where the car is parked. What about the other cameras that would have seen?
It wasn't parked. It was on the other side of the road, Sweet, driving.
Yeah.
Oh, right, okay. So he's actually. I
We-
thought he was
we
parked up
thought
at
it
first.
was
Okay,
part one,
ladies,
but it's
ladies,
not.
ladies,
It's on the
ladies,
other side of the road.
ladies. Let me just carry on with this.
Sorry,
It's all right.
Ron.
No, it's all good. It's all good.
It's
We're bringing
yeah,
up stuff
crazy.
what we're moved on from. That's all. And
Hey, no problem.
I just want to finish off what this ex superintendent was saying, because there's a bit at the bottom here. Widespread rioting followed the unalivings. He's talking about in March, Chief Constable Serena Kennedy told MPs she wanted to dispel disinformation in the immediate aftermath of the Southport unalivings by releasing information about the attacker Axel's religion, because he came from a Christian family, but was told not to by the local Crown prosecutors. Police did disclose that the suspect was a 17-year-old male from Banks in Lancashire who was born in Cardiff, and then they showed a picture of him being about 10 years old at school, looking all dapper, all suave. Widespread rioting followed the unalivings, with some disorder targeting mosques and hotel housing asylum seekers. Jonathan Hall KC, the government's official reviewer of the terror legislation, told The Guardian that Merseyside's decision on Monday evening should be set a precedent for future incidents. The authorities seemed to have learned the lesson from Southport. It should not be a precedent, while recognizing there will be the odd case where you need to say little or nothing. Transparency is the right precedent. I'm not being funny, right? There should be no incident where the public don't be given 100% full disclosure of what is happening in their courts when it's an incident that is so public. You know, if it's it's national security, right? Or like somebody gets whacked in a secret government facility and we can't know the exact location. Sure, okay, semantics, right? But when it comes to this, how about you don't load a country up with individuals who are here illegally, who are destroying our culture, who are systematically taking apart our sense of neighborhood, our sense of tradition. I'm sorry, but if I go on holiday, I'm expected to respect the culture of which I'm in.
100%. And this is my thought exactly. If you don't like the rules of the country that you go into, don't go. You can't expect that country to bend their whole way around your needs.
Mate, if
that country doesn't fit your needs, then you need to choose one that does.
Well, that's not how it works. Okay, you just walk to France. You walk to France, speak to the closest French policeman and say, how do I get to Britain? And they say, hop on a dinghy, my G. Because I'm not being funny. Vern, right? See, if you had a bunch of scallywags on any type of inflatable, Vern with a pointy stick could combat that. Okay, you just need a long enough stick, Vern. Okay, like big 18-footer. Just pop that bad boy. Pop that bad boy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Make a day of it. Get some waders. Get some waders. Get all the boys.
Yeah.
You know, take some freaking little flotation things and just stand there. And as the boats come out, you go, nah, pop you again, nah. I mean, it's a dinghy. It's a dinghy. You know what the most dangerous thing to a dinghy is? A pointy rock, mate. A pointy rock.
Yeah.
Let's install some pointy rocks, baby. Okay.
Let's just plonk a couple of destroyers in the English Channel.
No, can't do that. But what we can do is get a Kickstarter for big pointy rocks. Okay. That's the sort of crazy
Dragon's
crap.
teeth at Dover.
That's the sort of crazy crap the internet can get behind. All right. You might
It
not
look like
want
Normandy on June the 6th.
But then we get done for being racist for trying to harm people.
This is my
I don't
point.
think you can win, to be fair.
We
Well,
can't win whichever way.
Yeah.
We're not
This
talking
is what I
about.
was saying earlier on. It's creeping in. It's been creeping in for years. See, in prison. See, at Christmas time, you're not allowed Christmas trees up, decorations up, and Easter stuff, you're not allowed because all the Muslims don't like it. Yet we've got to get behind Ramadan, Ding Dong, and Eid and all that lot.
Yeah, no, that's not my point.
Do you know what I mean?
No,
it's meant to, and it's happening in prisons. They're trying to make that happen on the out by the look of it.
All right. Well, look, I'm
But
not
one last
here.
thing I was-
I'm not here to try and disrespect anyone's religion.
No, I'm not. I'm not.
Certainly
we've
not.
We've got to be equal.
I'm just going to mute you. Right. I'm just going to mute you. So for me, it's not about disrespecting religions. It's not about pointing things out in a way that can be misconstrued. That's how people weaponize your words against you. And there is a hypocrisy here. We've seen things outside of prison where smaller rural areas have cancelled public holidays like Easter and said it's to be inclusive. It seems like that's the opposite of that, you know? And for me, this is about illegal immigrants coming into my country. I don't give a rat's ass what color those people are. I don't give a rat's ass what religion those people are. Although there does seem to be a massive dominant situation from both of them. I'm fairly clear across the board. If you're here illegally, you shouldn't be here. We are not in a fit state to deal with whatever is our quota of dealing with the people who have had their houses blown up because we are funding whatever side of whatever war's taking place, and a British funded DK 512 bomb flattens your town. We'll help some of them a little bit, okay? But I just can't get past. I just cannot get past how it's being continued to happen. How is this not some sort of declaration of war from France? Because we seen what was called narco-terrorism that took place around Russia, where Afghanistan was hammering some of the rural towns in Russia with unbelievably cheap narcotics. And it collapsed the infrastructure of these places. Some of these places are where the birth of the original crocodile, the eye drop madness took place. So to think it can't be done with human beings is mad. I mean, this mass importation of military age men that are coming over here with ill intent. We as a society have picked up on that. We as a society have seen how this isn't working. And that's without a defense budget. That's without an intelligence budget. That's just using common sense. Because this is never going to stop until it boils over. Because I'll tell you this. Somewhere right now, there is a pot on a stove brewing, okay? And it's going to boil over. And when it does, one of two things is going to happen. You're going to see a government come down on a group and a demographic of individuals who are legally citizens of this nation, which is going to cause a reaction from the public like you've never seen before. Or you're going to see a government be pushed over in that area. You're going to see what people would describe as a race war kick off. Not because we want these things to take place. No one does. But when people boil over, when people lose faith in a government, scary things happen, you know? And you can feel it. You can feel it in the air. It's brewing. And You cannot tell me this isn't by design. You cannot tell me a government has not pushed and pushed and pushed and pushed and pushed, waiting for a reaction. And the sad thing is, if you react, you lose. If you don't react, you lose. If you try and speak out online, you lose. What part of tyranny does that not fall under? What part of police state does that not fall under? But hey, you know, listen, I get it. Half the country is worried about mortgage payments, about bills, about feeding their family. The other half are worried about likes and shares. The distractions are plentiful. I don't know what's going on in my brain, right? But I've been sucked into that YouTube Shorts madness. Like that brain rot scrolling. I've been sucked into that. And I'm going to be honest. There's been times where I've put on a bit of long format content and I've turned it off after a couple of minutes and I'm like, why have I turned that off? And I'm like, have I turned that off because my brain wants a dopamine hit every minute? And it freaked me out. Okay? It freaked me out. Because I can't remember the last time I watched a documentary that wasn't work related. I can't remember the last time I watched anything of value. I mean, don't get me wrong. Okay? I learned that if you stab a little packet of butter with your fork and then fold it over, you can squeeze it out the butter packet. I learned that from a short. Amazing, amazing. Other than that, the other 1 billion minutes of my life gone. And I have to think to myself, if we have a society, because let's be honest, what we're talking about here is a different form of distraction than we've ever seen before. And bear with me. I can't get past how I skipped and turned off those videos. I can't get past the subconscious way this has creeped into my world. It doesn't make any sense to me. It's shocking. Also, Discord, I'm going to turn you back on now. Okay.
Rather than keep playing out all this.
All right. They're still at it. We'll just let them do their thing. So is it I don't know if it's desensitizing, right? Because it's not like I'm watching trauma stuff. Ron is watching dumb stuff. Real dumb, low tier brain rot. Okay. It's not like, it's not like Twitter, like 10 years ago. You know what I'm saying? It's not like, oh, there's some crazy guy putting a bunch of animals in a cage and burning them. Thanks, Twitter. Made my day. Oh, the cartels are at it again, chopping off some heads. Oh, thanks, Twitter. Thanks for that. With sound in 4K. Do you know what I'm saying? It's not like that. It's like I've been made into a dumbass. Okay? Because sooner or later, I'm going to be having a conversation with someone. And if they don't wrap it up in a minute, my brain is going to switch off from them. And if we've got a society that cannot follow a train of thought for longer than a minute, that is, by design, the dumbing down of a nation. Willing dumbing down of a nation. Because I'm telling you right now, okay, if Ron, okay, regular guy, okay, accidentally becomes a toxic scroller by accident, didn't even see it coming, mate. Didn't even see it coming. No warning signs at all. No warning signs. And then all of a sudden, I'm expected to understand legislation when stuff's explained on the telly and that. What? The news? The news is 20 minutes long. 20 minutes. Do you know how much doom scrolling I can do? Do you know how many lists of Tony the Sign Guy's best intros that I could get through in 20 minutes? Just go like that. Savage. Savage. So, yeah, we're going to mute you guys.
Sorry?
Right, you're
I
back.
would love to learn how
You're
to
back,
do
guys.
sign language.
You're back. I would like to do sign language too, actually.
You're back.
In fact, we could do a fun thing once a week where we all learn a new sign thing every week.
I would love to learn sign language.
Yeah,
absolutely.
we're definitely going to do that. Okay. And then
Yeah.
what we'll do
sign language
is we'll do a proper piece of sign language, and then we'll make
Yeah.
up one that we'll see if we can get it to catch on. Do you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So
Good idea.
basically, in conclusion to that, for me, there's definitely a huge system at play here that wants us real dumb. And it's not even, and I don't even mean dumb. You can be real smart and go home and doom scroll. You know? It's about that attention span. And they
just want everyone chasing the tails to the point where they just give up because nobody knows what's right and what's wrong.
They got me 4 decades in. Okay? A 12-year-old has no chance, mate. A doom scrolling 12-year-old is done. Done. Right, listen, a couple other things that popped up in British news today. The first one is actually a little bit sad. An actor, Paul Dannon, former Hollyoaks star, passed away.
Oh, yeah.
Because of a massive cocktail of, I mean, just look at this. A post-mortem examination concluded the actor's unaliving was due to a combined toxicity of H, methadone, codeine, pregabalin, the white stuff, Zopiclone, and all contributed.
That's to sleep, yeah.
Contributed.
Then you got pain.
Wow, that is a
painkillers, and then you got
deadly.
I'm literally still reading them out, guys.
Deadly
I'm
mixture
just
of drugs.
I'm just reading them out. Just let me get to the end of the sentence. All right. Contributed to by benzodiazepine. These are some words. Thank you for chiming in there because I wouldn't have got that one. Benzodiazepine.
Benzodiazepine.
It sounds like an off-brand that like the Amazon owner would bring out. Do you know what I'm saying? But really sad, man. I remember.
that antidepressant.
Yeah.
I don't know. We're not going to break. We're not going to break down all the substances.
No,
People can feel free to Google them on your phone if you want to do that.
Oh no, I already know what they are.
All right. So it's just a sad one. I mean, I remember seeing him here in Big Brother. He was always a super smiley dude. Do you know what I mean? He was always one of those actors that, you know,
had a lot to say.
Yeah. Okay. So former Hollyoaks star Paul Dannon died by misadventure. That's a new one for me. After taking a cocktail of substances, a coroner has ruled. 46-year-old played Saul Patrick in the Channel 4 soap from 1997 to 2001, and was later known for his reality TV appearance on Celebrity Big Brother and Celebrity Love Island. An inquest into Dannon's death told that he was found unresponsive and slumped on his sofa in front of the TV at his home in Brislington on the 15th of January. Emergency services attended and confirmed that he had passed away, with his body being identified at the scene by his partner, Melissa Crooks. A post-mortem examination concluded his death was due to a combination of toxicity. I mean, that's a lot. Assistant Coroner Debbie Rooks reached the conclusion that Dannon had died by misadventure after hearing written statements from the emergency services doctor and his mother, Beverly Dannon. In a statement, Mrs. Dannon said, Paul helped so many people from all walks of life, but just couldn't help himself in the same way. His smiling face and love for life will always be remembered. Miss Rooks concluded that Dannon had died from a combined effects of prescribed and illicit substances. He told the hearing at Avon Coroner's Court and Flax Burton near Bristol that there was no evidence Dannon, who suffered from accidental overdose in May 2024, had intended to take his own life. A previous hearing was told that Dannon did not leave a note. The coroner said that Paul Dannon was clearly much loved by much love and is very much missed. Mr. Dannon had a long history of substance misuse and struggles with mental health. And his death was caused by a combination of substances, both prescription and illicit. Paul had struggled with his mental health for many years. He had taken an overdose in May 2024, but he was adamant that it was accidental and he didn't have any intention of ending his life. Although he had occasional unaliving thoughts, he didn't have any active plans and didn't have any evidence before that Paul intended to take his own life at the time. Therefore, the conclusion is misadventure. I guess that means just accidentally. Is that not just an overdose? Is that not just?
Accidental overdose.
No. Most overdoses
a little while ago. Sorry.
Most overdoses are accidental, apart from people who are trying to unalive themselves, right? So, what's the difference between an overdose and a misadventure, or what's it called, a misadventure?
It would be the context in which they're found. There'd be no note left, and with a cocktail like that, they're going to look at the amounts and if there are anything left behind. So
all right, so here we go. Hang on, man. Let me just read you the meaning, bro. Like we need to just dial back the speculation. Just Google stuff. We got this. A death caused by a person accidentally while performing a legal act without negligence or intent to harm. So an unfortunate incident or mishap is another reason for it. So that would so let's try and work this out. So that would be like me taking some paracetamol and then passing away from it, right? Because it was a normal act without so if I just had like a gammy reaction to it, or it was an accidental super paracetamol or something like that, effectively. All right. Okay.
Too many.
Okay, I can understand. So then like that's a massive cocktail.
Crazy.
Like that is a massive cocktail.
On and off alcohol and drugs for a very, very, very long time. And he actually got sober.
Rhino, that is.
Yeah.
He got sober. He was on still a lot of prescribed medication.
Something was going on.
Bro.
Yeah, he had a lot of anxiety and depression, and he was also very good friends with Caroline Flack as well.
Oh wow. That's another crazy one.
Sober. His partner left him with the son, and he got sober. He was still taking normal medication.
He's taking a lot of opiates, which suppress the heart rate and the respiratory.
So he's
that's
obviously
basically what it does when you take too much of that stuff. You'll go to sleep and your airway just shuts down.
Well, yeah, because it depresses your breathing.
I mean, that was a lot. But anyway, look, it's a really sad story. The coroner said none of the substances in Dannon had taken were found in high levels, but their combined effect resulted in a fatal respiratory depression. That is literally what you both just said. Dannon had previously spoken about his struggles with addiction and going into rehab. The actor has been due to appear for a plea hearing. The actor had been due to appear for a plea hearing at Warrington Magistrates Court on 16th of January after being charged with possession of these two substances. I mean, no big deal, really. I mean, he was also accused of driving under the influence of substances in Warrington. I mean, really, there's no reason there. I mean, those are obviously not good things to be charged with or be going to court for, but it doesn't scream of...
No, they're not the end of the world.
But yeah, just a very, very sad one. And I just wanted to point that out because that was, 100%. I think most of us, if you're from the UK, have seen this guy and know this one. Right. Next story out the UK today is police increasingly concerned for missing Cole Cooper. Missing teenager Cole Cooper was last seen in Banknock on the 7th of May. Police are becoming increasingly concerned for a teenager who's been missing for 3 weeks. Cole Cooper, 19, was last seen about 20:45 on the 7th of May in Longcroft, Falkirk, near his home village in Banknock. Chief Inspector Alex Hattrick told the BBC Scotland News Cole's disappearance was being treated as a missing persons case and there was no evidence to suggest he had come to harm. Since the final sighting, officers have conducted door-to-door inquiries at more than 200 homes and obtained more than 1,000 hours of CCTV. Members of Cole's family have told the BBC Scotland his lack of contact with them is highly unusual and they feel that he has come to some kind of harm. We've got a bit of video footage here.
Yeah, I think this is what I saw yesterday.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Heartbreaking,
Bless
man.
him.
Heartbreaking. Okay, Chief Insurmountable hat trick. The local area commander told BBC Scotland News, just like Cole's family were increasingly concerned for Cole's whereabouts, the families are obviously deeply devastated and are looking for answers to what has happened to Cole, as are the police. At this time, it is very much a missing persons inquiry. There is no evidence that Cole has come to any harm, but we will explore all avenues, any lines of inquiry. Our focus is very much on tracing Cole. Timeline: where was Cole Cooper last seen? May 3rd, Cole was on a night out with friends. May 4th, he was captured on CCTV multiple times around the Nisbet Drive, Longcroft Road of Hoggan Path in the early hours of Sunday morning. He's seen approaching the door of his father's house at 10 to 6 in the morning before leaving 4 minutes later. The CCTV footage of Cole at 6 p.m. on Cumberland Road. 7th of May, a witness said they saw Cole around 8:45 on the A803 at the intersection of Cumbernauld Road and Longcroft. May 9th, Cole is reported missing. Cooper was last seen on Glasgow Road, Longcroft, Wednesday. This is mad. Chief Inspector Hattrick said police believe the last sighting of Cole on the evening of the 7th, reported by a witness who knew him. The witness told officers that they did not have any concerns for Cole. He told that Cole had asked for a lift off them and went on his way. Cole is described as 5'10", medium build, short brown hair. He was last seen wearing a black puffer jacket and black jogging bottoms, but Cole's family are treating the earlier CCTV footage captured on the 4th of May as the last confirmed sighting of the missing teenager. Brother Connor told BBC Radio Scotland's Drive Time programme that they were hoping no news is good news, but we're becoming increasingly worried. He said, we are coming up to a month now, and which does make me think, has he come to some sort of harm? I don't know what type of harm, but I do think something must have happened and somebody knows something. We are mentally preparing for the worst, but we are also hoping and praying for the best outcome, which is him coming home safely. The family organized a community-led search for the teenager on Saturday and Sunday, around 200 people helping to look for Cole. We don't want to sit back and do nothing. Even if we need to search the same area 100 times over, we will. Connor added, Cole had been living in Falkirk and is known to have links to Denny, Cumbernauld and Paisley areas. A major search involving helicopters and drones was launched last week, scouring Bannock and also in Falkirk. And the dive and marine unit have been involved. Police are asking for anyone in the Glasgow Road area around the time Cole was last seen to contact the online portal. They are urging locals to check their outhouse buildings and sheds. Now, that is every parent's nightmare.
Yeah.
And
100%.
People don't just vanish. A friend of mine, Kasha, she vanished last year. Just vanished into thin air. No one's ever found her. Her children are devastated. And the police have ended up trying to charge a man for her unaliving without a body. It's a crazy one. And
which is a difficult thing.
Now, I just want to point something out. When you have somebody who's was last seen and they were not in distress, they were asking for a lift, everything was kosher, I have to then think that something horrific has happened, you know? Because why would somebody who has got a reputation for checking in, for staying in contact with people, why would that suddenly change? Okay.
Yeah. And I saw the video. Sorry.
You okay, Cheyenne?
Yeah, just got a stabbing pain.
Just take a minute. You're okay.
I saw the video which is meant to be the last video of him, and it shows him running up the road and looking over his shoulder like somebody's following him.
I mean, listen, if he's running across a road, right, or crossing a road, he's on the path. Okay, see,
yeah,
sure, we could put that down. Now, I don't want to start speculating. I would much rather remain hopeful for this family and hope that we get an update.
Absolutely.
Oh, hello. There's a little number right there.
Was that his brother that did that video?
I think so.
Yeah.
Cole
There
Cooper's brother's
contact with
Connor.
him?
I mean, I don't know, mate. I mean, it's Cole Cooper, so that'll be Connor Cooper, his brother. I would imagine. But yeah, get reaching out. I would love to give these people the chance to come and use the platform. Of course.
100%, yeah. I want to speak to people that knew him as well. Something's obviously happened.
Because hang on a second. Please, God, fine. Okay, hang on a second. We have got KLG on the frickin' on the flipping, what the hell is it called? Keyboard. I almost said typewriter.
Yeah.
I almost said typewriter
She's quick,
3
isn't
times.
she? She's on it, mate. She's quick.
Yeah, I almost said typewriter 3 times. And I was like, it's not a typewriter, mate. She's not on a typewriter.
For 2025, Ron.
Yes. Yes.
I managed to set my business up, Ron. I might have to post.
Sadly, we won't be playing that because when you add Sarah McLachlan to the background of your TikTok, I cannot play it with
the post I saw.
Okay, so please help raise awareness. You can make a difference. So this is the CC. Okay, all right.
Can you see it or not?
Share that on X if I can find it.
Yeah, if you can find it without the hang on.
It's coming up.
Yeah, it's. See, look at
there's a car
this.
there.
Okay, there's him running, looking behind. But again, I mean, he did look behind him, but
no, this is the bit where he's running and looking behind him.
Okay. Here he comes. Is that moving there? Is that him there? Okay.
There he's coming out of the alley opposite.
Yeah. Has a wee stretch. Or ties his shoe or something. Looks behind him.
Okay.
Looks behind him again.
See, just.
Then he's moving up here. Yep, I can see his wee legs. Okay. Doesn't seem to be in much of a hurry.
Yeah.
You know, if you would think if he was in duress or anything like that. It's strange, man. It's so strange, so heartbreaking. And like I say, we'll be keeping up to date with this each day.
It is, yeah. That's so sad.
On this one.
I can't find anything on it to share on X.
Yeah.
Because I don't have TikTok, I don't have Snapchat or any of those silly things.
Oh, you need to get TikTok. Just join the brain rot. Join the brain rot. All right. So moving on. Let me just check my little list here.
Wow.
Okay. So Tommy Robinson, free, looking.
Oh, another person.
Looking sharp. Okay. Sporting the I've been locked up hairdo.
Yeah.
And
oh
beard.
My gosh.
Okay. Because I don't think I've ever seen him not clean shaven, right? Can I just point that out for a start, right? So yeah, he rocks the beard, man. Definitely rocks the beard. But you know, he's already facing a whole slew of new charges. And this was legitimately him walking out and coming to do his first interview. And we'll play a little bit.
Yeah.
Cole said he's had a shave now.
You're good. don't know why, but the beard and the hair makes his smile just look so much cheekier. Like, I don't know why. Like, it just amplifies like his joy of being out of that place, and rightfully so. Like, I just need to point out, we're talking about journalists being arrested for making documentaries on groomers and horrible individuals who have been terrorizing our children under the guise of it was apparently infringing on a police investigation.
Wow.
When really, they just don't want you knowing about what he's talking about. And why? Why would you not want individuals exposed and held to justice and held accountable? Because I'll tell you something right now, if I hear goddamn the word culture one more time, okay? Because apparently certain individuals standing outside of our schools videotaping our kids is just cultural difference, baby.
Yeah.
Don't worry. Don't worry. It's cultural difference, is it, So anyway, let's play a little bit of this.
Judy Matt, yeah, I know, mate. I'm an ex-heroin user myself, and I'm on pregabalin.
Gotta say H or Brown.
Oh, sorry,
H or Brown.
26 years on H.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah,
last 7 years on pregabalin.
Yeah, freaking right, mate. Hell yeah, 7 years.
So
My G. Right, here we go. Are you serious? There's no sound.
I can hear him.
Yeah, you guys will be
But
able to
we're
hear
not
him.
listening through the TV.
Ah, god damn it. I don't get it. I don't know why it keeps doing this. Okay. I did this yesterday at a very suspicious time as well, where they were like, let us silence the video he is playing.
Press play and I'll turn my volume up and see if I can hear it.
I wonder if it's got anything to do with this. Can you hear it now?
Yes.
Yeah, we know you guys can hear it because you guys are hearing.
I can't hear it through the TV. I can only hear it through the phone.
Okay, that's great. We know that. We know that.
Silly buggers that know YouTube.
All right, that's fine. Well, anyway, look. The point being is the points that he's made. He does go on. He does do a power speech. Okay. So I'll post a link for you. But it's important that you understand why Tommy Robinson and why he went to prison is so important for you guys to be educated on. Because the fact that we are not allowed to have freedom of speech, we are not allowed to report on facts and put them out there in case it offends someone. We're talking about children being abused. We're talking about the systematic destruction of people's lives, the targeting of the most innocent. Nobody exposing that filth, okay, should be put in prison when they are exposing not only the horrendous crimes, but the shortcomings and the failings of the police and the British government. And it's a madness. We've had cases where teenagers have reported that they're being abused and they're being groomed, and then they've been sent off into the arms of the person that's done it to them by the police. It makes no sense. I don't understand. There is a very backward system at play here in the UK, and it seems to affect anyone who wants to speak out against individuals that fall under certain umbrellas of religion or previous geographic location.
Just gotta make a quick cover.
Yeah, you go make a quick cover. And it also seems to be lackluster when it comes to the protection of children. It also seems to be more concerned with what mums have got to say about headmasters in private WhatsApp groups and feel like turning up at their house at 2 o'clock in the morning to traumatize them and their children is justified.
Crazy.
Wow.
And this is all playing out. This is all the UK. You know, we're going to talk a little bit more tomorrow about the police state, what that actually means, what living under tyranny means, what keeping accountability of our own, protecting our own. I'm really annoyed that protect our own abbreviates to poo. Okay. Like I'm really annoyed.
Yeah.
I'm really annoyed about it. I had a whole plan about protect our own, because you can change it to protect your own, but that sounds very much like do not unite together. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, and I can't be the leader of the poo movement. I can't do it.
No.
So we need to come up with a new one. Okay. That is basically protect our own. It has to roll off the tongue like that and mean that, because we can't be the poo movement.
Yeah.
We can't
Absolutely.
be poop.
I can't stand
We can't be protect our own proudly. It can't be poop either, Sego. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, we need to figure it out, because I'm really losing temper. I'm really losing my patience, and it's very, very interesting when you look at certain demographics, and then you look at where a lot of the money and power is in certain other parts of the world. I don't know if a lot of you know what's been going on in the sports world over the last couple of years, but they've been getting bought up. The golf, the football, I can't remember what else, the racing, some sort of stuff with cars, all being bought over and moved to Dubai. Now,
bought by the rich Arabs.
I think it's real. First of all, I can see why that is awesome for Dubai. It's awesome for the Emirates, the Arab Emirates, all of that. It's incredible to sort of bring over modernized cultures and build this new modern world. But there's still a lot boxing. Thank you, Vern. There's still a lot of things that we would consider a bit extreme. Alcohol, how women have to conduct themselves if you're anything other than heterosexual. There's a lot of things that are a bit mad, and it's almost like all the people who online have been preaching against that stuff have moved there, right? Instagram.
They seem to.
I'm looking at you, Instagram. All you. And I'm just saying, we talk a lot about the old switcheroo here, right?
Yeah.
The old bait and switch. Show you one thing, pull another one away. And I feel like there's something coming, man. There's something brewing. I can't decide what it is.
I mean, not right.
But I don't even know if it's not right. It might turn out to be an awesome thing that's brewing, and the thing that brewing was super good. But I just feel like there's something brewing. There's something brewing. And what I do know is certain religions don't mess about with certain aspects of beliefs or any of that. And it's one thing for them to be like, okay, what goes on in your home is no problem. Absolutely. All that kind of stuff. But if I can be arrested for moving 2 foot to the left past an imaginary line that says I'm no longer on hotel property and I'm holding a beer and kissing my fiance, I'm done. Like there is a lot of stuff that's going to have to be translated to me whilst I'm sitting in a cell somewhere.
I'll put you inside.
Well, in Dubai, you wouldn't be getting alcohol anyway.
Yeah.
Well, no, this is the thing. You can get alcohol. The hotels. This is where the hotels.
Yeah.
Also, there's an alcohol delivery man that comes once a month, like a milkman, right? So if you've moved over there from, say, the UK or whatever, you're still allowed to have a drink inside your own house. But there's nowhere to buy the alcohol, so you can order it once a month from and this is all allegedly. This is just what I've heard. But I think that sounds about right. I mean, that's probably how it would work, because
they're very strict there.
Very strict is the one. Yeah.
The views are very backward.
Well, no, I don't. It's not. Listen, it's not so much. Yeah, okay. Some of it's pretty extreme.
It is.
But that's, again, for me. I just don't get how all of this is happening over here. Then we've got interesting develop. I'll tell you what, though, I am very excited to see how that massive, like, Judge Dredd building that they're making, this whatever it's called, that big mirrored apartment complex that they're building in Dubai. I can't remember what it's called. Massive. It looks like one of the mega blocks made fancy from Judge Dredd. See if they get that right. If they get that right, that's going to be amazing, right? Where the sun rises and sets at either end. It's got, everything that you could need. Wait a minute. It's got everything you could need inside it. Is this a pilot scheme? Is this a pilot? Is this a pilot scheme for a small, contained, livable city? Okay. What's up, Shane? What's up, Shane? Is this a pilot scheme? Are we seeing the test run for the 15-minute city? For those of you who don't know what the 15-minute city is, that is the concept that the government would like to create a world where you can travel 15 minutes away from your home and get everything you need for your sanctioned level of lifestyle. Okay. So call it postcodes, call it pay salaries, call it an episode of Black Mirror, whatever you want to do. But that's what this theory is pushing for. And one of the things that people have been noticing is the fires that have taken place and what happens to the land after those fires happen in America and Canada, all these things. And they're talking about, if they just keep burning stuff down and pushing you all into the middle and then buy up the land, then the only other option you have is to fight the flame. Okay. And I don't know if we're there yet. I don't know if Cheyenne versus all of the forest fire, I don't know if we're there yet as a race to be able to punch our way out of that. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So what happens then? What happens then until Cheyenne can uppercut the flames, which ain't going to happen? Like,
not right now, it isn't.
What's going to happen then? Because if they're doing it in a way where you're grateful to still be alive, it's a bit of a sneaky one. If I'm being honest, it's a bit of a sneaky one.
Possible.
Yeah.
Very viable.
They're meant to be. The water's meant to be the next one, isn't it?
Oh yeah. Well, listen. There's a bit of video footage of one of these like crinkly old men that looks like a ball sack that owns like most of the world, talking about the fact that water is going to be more valuable than oil. And there's some very interesting laws in America that says, let's say I go and buy a bit of land and I've got a massive freshwater lake. It is just ripe for the picking. It's illegal for me to suck that water out with a hose and sell it, right? But what it's legal for me to do is drill into the ground on my property and suck out whatever the goddamn hell I like, oil, water, whatever. So these crooks have been drilling into the natural aqueducts that refill and supply these freshwater lakes with the fresh water, sucking them dry and watching the lakes of America becoming nothing more than a cat's piddle, a little cat's piddle running through your kitchen.
Yep.
And it's kind of scary because water's kind of
luckily
important.
I'm 60 foot away from the head of the Tyne. So.
Well, yeah, I'm with you. But
run some.
There's a lot of things. I mean, when I first came to YouTube, it was for bushcraft and prepping, right? That was my whole channel was bushcraft and prepping, survival, learning how not to die, learning primitive crafts that have been forgotten. You know, learning all these things that people think are ridiculous until something like the pandemic strikes and we're all sitting there going, oh, it might actually kick off. Why is there no toilet roll? Why is there no KFC?
People used to think I was a bit weird doing all survival stuff when I was trying to join the army until my mate broke his leg and we had to split it up and get him back up there.
Right. Exactly. All of a sudden, my little weird Altoids tin full of stuff isn't so funny anymore.
All of a sudden, he's not so weird.
Someone needs to sew a button back on their shirt. It's not a very emergency, right? But I'm just saying, like, many a button has been sewn back on thanks to my tiny Altoids tin.
Yep. We have a lot of power cuts here, so
but here's
before I got a little camping stove, I used to have to use my fire to cook food.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. Like, if all the power went down tomorrow, how many of you know how to use a map and compass? Obviously, Uber, we know you do. Okay, obviously, Uber, you know you do. But how many of you could find yourself on a map?
Obvious.
Because it's the sort of thing, and just know that you'll know how to do.
Because you've just been saying
fair
you've done
enough,
all the
Like,
Bible stuff.
It's like you strike me as like once we're a Boy Scout or once we're a Cub Scout or something.
I
Right?
was, yeah.
You've
I
got
did
those
Cub Scouts,
yeah,
Scouts,
yeah,
Venture Scouts.
Right? You got that vibe around you, and that's not a bad vibe.
Yeah.
It's not a bad vibe. It's better to be like, oh, he looks like he could read a map and use a compass. That's not a bad thing for people to get a vibe off.
No,
from.
not really.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Really, no.
Like,
And it's a skill that you never forget as well.
Exactly. People looking at you in the street like he will read the shizness out of that map. You know what I'm saying? So that's one.
And I'll even analyze the words just in case the Ordnance Survey people are lying to me.
And here's another thing.
Yeah.
If I was to hand you a bushel of tinder and a bottle of water, and those are the only two things you're allowed to use to make a fire with, how long before you can make the fire? Because I've done it in about
Less than
18
2
minutes. Yeah, about 18 minutes, right? Once, because it's a pain in the balls, right? But
yeah, I mean, yeah, the whole prep is, but yeah.
So you can
probably-
use that
probably
bottle of
taking about
water in
25
the
minutes.
same way as you would use a magnifying glass. As long as the sun is at high noon, you can refract it through the water and make fire. And it's good fun. It's good fun. But look, protect our kin. Right. Okay. So then we're now the POC movement is definitely better than the poo movement. Protect our kin. Yeah. Okay.
Well, I had a bowel movement earlier on. Does that help?
No.
Really?
No.
You want about all these movements?
But look, listen, congratulations. I mean, it's a big day for
Thank you. It was a tough one.
Yeah. Every win, every
What are
little
you
win.
guys talking about?
I don't know. Uber's just off on one today, man. Like
Right.
he was mumbling
Just one
over.
of those moods,
He's gone off on these mumble tangents, right? Like Cheyenne will be saying something, and then all of a sudden you hear is like, yes, the metabolic rate of the man's intelligence.
That's just me talking to myself.
Where he put his hand in conjunction with his movement and his eyebrows. And it's like,
I'm not that bad.
You know what? Yeah, that's right. That's how it sounds.
but I know it's you talking to yourself. Okay, none of the
Oh, that
stuff
happens
you're
quite a
saying,
lot, yeah.
none of the stuff you're saying is even for us. We're not even privy to what you're saying.
It's not even for me half the time,
talking,
mate, and it's me I'm talking
You're
to.
just talking to yourself over the top of whoever the hell it is that's talking, but you're adding to it, but in a way that's like, oh, they've edited this kung fu movie real badly. It's real bad editing on this kung fu movie. The lips
The
are not
scary
aligned.
part is I still lose the arguments with myself. That's really frightening.
Listen, I'm the same. So if anyone remembers our guest that we've had on, a guy called Emil, Sean keeps referring to him as the gay nightclub DJ. I think I'm going to be having, him back on this week, and also Patrick and Elliot, I do believe are the guys' names who were Patrick and who? Somebody just whispered to me, or is that a voice in my head? That was weird.
That was your own head.
Okay, please don't say that.
Did you say gay nightclub DJ?
Yes.
Oh, I missed that. I bet that was a scream, was it?
Well, yeah, but he was a gay nightclub DJ years ago. Like he's a proper DJ, but this guy is so funny, Uber. Like,
I was going to say, I bet it was absolutely hilarious. Is what I mean. But I bet it was a scream.
No. You picture in your head what you think a gay nightclub DJ is, and you're so far off the mark.
Oh no, there's no picture.
Oh no,
there's absolutely no picture at all.
Oh, trust me, there's definitely a picture, right? And it's fine. But this dude, like he's I can't even remember where he's from, but everything about him says even his mum was like a stereotypical mum from wherever the hell he was from. And he went off on this tangent about the Aztecs and gold and why the hell would the Aztecs be digging up millions of tons of gold when it serves no purpose? And what were they digging it up with? For a start, there wasn't a wheel at this point. Okay, so what do? They're just digging with their hands, pulling up this metal that serves no part. It doesn't serve any. Why are they making all this jewelry? For a start, and then he starts talking about how basically the aliens are going to come back and take all the gold, and really, Why were they digging up all that gold? Like, why?
Well, gold has some really, really interesting properties.
Really?
With regards to
Is it an
electricity and stuff like
interesting
that.
property when you don't have the wheel yet? Okay. Just to remember, we're still at a point where if you woke up and you were planning a barbecue and it was raining, you took your cousin up on the pyramid and smashed his head open. And then boom, barbecue's back on, baby. You see what I'm saying? Different world, bro. There's no wheel. There's no wheel.
Different world to what I live in.
There's no wheel. Like, there's no wheel, bro. Just try and imagine a world with no wheel. And then you're meant to be like a function. Like, if you're doing something, it's for a purpose, right? So flint making tools, like whatever the primitive next set of tools were. I don't know. I'm not a scientist. But all I'm saying is if we don't have a wheel and all of a sudden this society has billions of pounds of gold and they've built all these pyramids that seem to just be slightly too well made. Do you know? It's like when you as a parent, you want to finish off your kid's project for them and make it really, really good for them to show off at nursery.
Yeah.
Right. And you take it too far. You take it too far. Like no 4-year-old, okay, has put like projectors and hooked up an iPad and it comes with like a VR helmet for everybody in the class. Too far. You took it too far. Do you see what I'm saying?
That's what they can't figure out because they've found places like Göbekli Tepe and stuff like that.
Do you know what they did though, mate? They went, oh, that's an interesting little thing. Let's start digging that up. And they started digging it and they digged it a little bit more. And then the Turkish government went, whoa, wait, does that completely delete everything we know about known science and religion? Yeah. Okay. So
Graham Hancock
so what we're going to do is we know we're basically we're currently digging up the next Stonehenge pyramid, new civilization, mega hybrid, biggest discovery of our lifetime. So what we're going to do is we're going to fill the hole back in, right? Not only fill the hole back in, we're going to plant a new national forest on top of the whole site. Right? Makes sense, right? Because that's what they did. That's what they did. They went, nah, mate, let's just plant some trees on these.
Really?
Yeah. In fact, let's Google it.
No, that was thousands of years of sediment. That was. They didn't build on top of it on Göbekli Tepe.
Oh, can you imagine how I'm trying to spell this right now? Can you imagine how Ron is trying to spell Biblioteki? In fact, am I even saying it right?
G-O.
No. Oh, it's Gobib. Oh, Gobibli.
G-O-B-E-K-E.
Okay.
G-O-B.
No, bro. Google's got
E-K-E-L-E.
Don't, bro.
E-E-P-E.
Bro. Google has you covered, man. Like I only need to Google.
I already know how to spell it.
Okay, Göbekli Tepe.
Göbekli Tepe.
Okay, cover
in Turkey, I think it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
I've never heard of it.
Yeah, there's a reason for that.
My birthday's on Friday, sweetheart. I'm 50 on Friday.
All right, so here we go.
Happy birthday for Friday.
This is where they were digging it up, right? Oh, let's dig up some stuff.
And it's given birth to the theory that practically overnight
I think
went
I've seen
from
something like this.
It goes to the theory that apparently overnight we went from being a hunter-gatherer civilization to a farming civilization.
But you got to wonder
less time than what they said.
Yeah, 100%. But here's the thing: they've just stopped. They're just this little.
Yeah, but he said the guy who did it.
Well,
he said they're not going to dig all the way down. They're going to stop before they got to the bottom. That's what they said they were going to do right from the start.
And this is it.
But it's an I. I thought it was an E on the end. Sorry.
Yeah, it is completely been closed. I mean, shut down. You can walk around this little bit, I imagine, and that is the only remnants that is left. And they're just going to stop digging.
Yep.
It doesn't make any sense.
No.
It doesn't.
I think the reason they gave for not digging right the way down is they want to preserve its integrity the way it is. They don't want to expose all of it to the elements again.
Okay.
Yeah, KLG, I saw the crop circle thing that you just mentioned. Bizarre.
I mean, what?
I only know about this because I was listening to Graham Hancock's Magicians of the Gods while I got to sleep.
Listen, I'm
That's
just
the only
saying,
reason
right?
I know about it.
If the government ever starts digging something up, right, and then they go, we probably.
And Göbekli Tepe means pot-bellied hill.
We probably don't want to keep digging there. Why? Why have you not been back to the moon? Why have you not been back to the moon?
They say they want to preserve the integrity of the monument underneath ground.
Sorry, I'm sorry. They want to
Well,
preserve.
it does really when he explains it.
Well, no, I'm sorry. Old stuff's there to be dug up. Okay, it's not there to just be left and just sit in the ground. It's there to be dug up so we can all go, whoa, look at that old stuff.
I would dig it up, but that's a decision they made, and that's the reason they're telling us they made.
Yeah, but that looks like a mess just left like that.
Well, I mean,
but it's
more of it out.
Could you imagine if Pam was part of the Go Blakely Teppy team? She would day one. She'd be in there with her. She'd be in there with a couple.
Would be spray painted and redecorated and everything, man. A wallpaper on it a lot.
Yes,
I will be on it. I'm telling you, I'll be like
dangling flowers off it, designing the garden.
To be fair, I don't like seeing a task not completed.
Half done. It just looks half done.
Listen, if we're going to care
it's worth
about
the effort to do it, it's worth the effort.
If we're going to care about the integrity of Go Blakely Teppy, then why is there only 4 lions?
Just call it Pot-Bellied Hill because that's what it means.
And then why have we only got 4 lions left in the wild then, right? Because it would seem that if we really care about stuff, we would have applied that mindset across the entire world. But we as humans don't just go, money, 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 money. Oh, we better stop now. We don't do that. We destroy everything, consume everything. And once it's dead, we go, oh, no. Oh, no, we ate them all and shot them. Oh, no, where are all the tigers going? Oh, where's the orangutans? They're no longer living together because we need palm oil so that Doritos can fry their frickin' chips for 1 cent cheaper a bag and then buy more yachts to take out into goddamn international waters and do God knows what, having crazy Dorito parties.
I feel your passion.
Okay? This is the world. Listen, I'm not being funny. I don't want to win the lottery and start up Ron's big game murder sanctuary. But if I don't, the people that want to shoot lions and tigers are going to kill them all. So would you rather that Ron didn't breed lions and then sell them for astronomical money to the 1% to come and blow their brains out? Or would you rather Simba and frickin' Nala, the final 2 on the Pride, get frickin' 50 cows up the rear? Because I'm just saying, we're going to kill them all right? Because that's what we do. We're the rhinos.
Yeah.
Why? Do you know that a rhino horn is basically a massive toenail, right?
Yep.
See if you just knock out the rhino, right? I'm not saying it's an easy job at all.
No.
Okay? At all. But if you knock it out and cut its horn off, it'll just wake back up and grow a new horn.
Yeah.
But it doesn't because they kill him to do it. That's the problem.
Exactly. It's not their fault that their skin ain't getting penetrated by anything that's not a large bore rifle. But all I'm saying is
it needs to be 7.62 or above.
Well, here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. You tell it to every single vet because they just pull up beside them in a massive freaking 4x4 with a big stick with a pointy thing, shove it in the side, and then bosh, rhino asleep. Nice one. They even tried tranquilizing the wild rhinos and dyeing their horns pink so that nobody wanted to cut them off. Okay? But no, we keep coming back and murdering everything. Also, totally just side question here. Have you seen the absolute traumatic start to life that a baby giraffe has? Right? Yes. The first thing that happens is you fall 9 feet, slam into the ground, and you've got 5 seconds to get your ass up and follow your mum before the local jaguar, right? Not like or whatever it is, leopard. Before the local leopard goes, wait a minute, Steve, do you smell that? Do you smell that?
Oh my God.
Oh, it's baby giraffe. I can smell that. Oh, mate, let's go. And they're off. Fastest landman. I don't know if they're in the same part of the world. I'm very much just for entertainment values naming a fast
what, cheetahs and giraffes? Yeah, I think so.
They probably are.
Just bringing out any animal that you can think of right now, aren't you, Ron?
I kind of like watching giraffes fight each other, though. They use their heads as a weapon. They use their neck.
They do.
They do.
They use the
yeah, I've seen that.
Vicious little things.
The horns on the head to wallop each other's necks.
The vicious little things. Are we talking about the same thing here?
I was going to say, there's nothing little about a giraffe.
Like, they're pretty much known for being massive, Pam. Right? Massive.
You know, my sister saw some giraffes in South Africa.
Nice.
They went on a one of those
reservations.
Safari kind of trip. Yeah. And they saw a lot of so they were right up close to the giraffes.
Yeah, man.
I think that and they're free to roam around there. I think it depends where they are.
Now just stay with me.
Did you know a cheetah can't retract its claws?
All right. Well, okay. Fair dues. Now, listen, bear with
Just a
me.
little trivia for you. They're the only big cat that can't retract their claws.
All right. Okay. I still have no sympathy for them. They're still way too fast.
No, I don't. And I'm minded
way
completely
too
with this
fast,
information,
man.
but
Way
I thought
too
I'd check
fast.
it out there.
Do you ever think to yourself, right? Because when I seen those two giraffes fighting each other, I was like, dog fighting really bad, like cockerel fighting really bad.
Yeah.
But like two giraffes in a field headbutting each other, I could watch that. None of them, like they're not doing. It's like attack power 3000, damage nothing.
Did you see the short on YouTube about the guy boxing the kangaroo?
No. Yes, I did. In fact, you know what? We're just going to quickly. We're going to spend the last 10 minutes of the show educating ourselves about giraffes.
The kangaroo. Oh, giraffes. Yeah.
Okay, we're going to just witness giraffes fighting with each other because this is mental. Okay, like tell me this isn't the maddest thing you've ever. First of all, this guy, the first giraffe, total bully. Okay, we're going to call him Harry, and we're going to call this one Walter. Walter's just chilling, mate. Walter is just chilling, and then Big Harry, look at his stature. Like for a start, look at that body.
Not in the same weight, Brent. Level, are they?
At the size of these things' body. That's a tree, mate. Okay, see that there? See that thing that they're twice the size of? Tree. Okay, so listen, Walter living. He goes for it. Oh, my windmilling. What? Like they both have given up after about two swings. God. They've given up after like 2 swings because they're like, listen, there's a guy over there filming us, and when there's no one around, we already know how stupid we look. Okay, we already know how stupid we look. But there's a guy filming us, and they stop rapid. But let's keep watching. So Walter is like, all right, okay. Harry's just I'm gonna get you again, Harry. I'm gonna get you. Look at them go. Like, oh my God. But then they stop. Cricket match. It's like once they're done, they just swap ends. Do you know what I'm saying? Like what are they trying to achieve? Has anyone ever won a giraffe fight? Has anyone? I mean, how do you know who's won?
Yeah. Also,
their own neck.
They're not actually doing it to kill each other, though, are they?
I don't know what they're doing. They could be.
No, it's a mating thing.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, they do get injuries, but it's not meant to kill each other.
I just want to say, right,
strength
Walter has made an absolute mockery of Harry. Look at this. Look at this way he just ducks under, misses him.
It's like, yeah, me, mate.
Sends Harry
he's like,
off
you might
balance.
be bigger, mate, but I can dodge.
Oh, that giraffe's owned by Chris Eubank, that one.
So anyway, I just wanted to point out, mad.
It just looks so weird.
Mad.
Oh,
like,
that would have got
like if you're a female giraffe and you see these two giraffes, there must be a form of giraffe ick that you get from that.
Yeah.
And anyway, so next, the last thing I want to educate you all on
that is crazy.
Is Ron used to have this thing, right, where he wanted to fight a kangaroo, right? And it turns out
kangaroos are vicious.
Kangaroos aren't only vicious, right? It's okay if you're vicious. I mean, a Jack Russell is vicious, but I could punt that like a far distance, right?
Yeah.
But when you have literally, like when you live in a society, right, where you need to buy a special collar for your dog. You see what you see here is, look at Fido getting a cuddle off the kangaroo. If you're a tourist, you're like, the kangaroo's cuddling him. Seconds later, your dog's throat has been ripped out. That is an anti-kangaroo rip my dog's neck out collar. Okay?
Oh my God.
So now you've got basically, this has gone from being, cute kangaroo to psychopath staring the human in the eyes going, I'll kill your pet if you don't come over here. Basically, he is like, come over here, mate. Come on.
And then the headlock and everything. Look,
It gets better. It gets better. Here we go. Okay. Okay. He releases him. Now you see the true weapons of the beast.
God.
Look at its claws. Okay. He is now stood up, and it goes from being tiny, unsuspecting, cute animal to basically a hairy dinosaur in about 2 seconds. And he's up. He's up. Gives him a right hook. Can't believe it, mate. He can't believe he just took that right hook. Can't believe it. Yep. The dog's
no
off.
chance.
Mental.
He's
So yeah.
like, I'm gonna get you.
So don't try and fight a kangaroo. You don't want to do that.
Yeah, he's like, don't mess with me, mate.
You don't want to be a giraffe and try and fight another giraffe because you'll look ridiculous. But it got me thinking years ago about how many animals would be, like, for example, how many turkeys versus a giraffe is an even fight?
No, you're gonna have to have a lot.
Well, that's what I mean.
A lot of them.
How do you work that out? What is? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, if you've got, if you've got right a really angry household cat, how many hedgehogs is an even fight? Do you see what I'm saying? Right?
27.
27 hedgehogs versus one cat.
Against one cat. Yeah,
these are the sort of maths I need to know. Do you know what I'm saying?
Have you ever heard hedgehogs fighting?
No.
They sound like dogs growling at each other.
Oh, is that what it is?
No, that's just.
I've heard that.
That's Uber's night
I
terror
wondered
demon.
what that was. Yeah.
Yeah, literally, it sounds like dogs growling, but it's not. It's hedgehogs fighting.
Never knew
So
that.
I'm waiting on finding out. I'm waiting on finding out if me asking questions to Julia from you guys directly to then bring back and read out online could be seen as communication. It's a whole thing.
If it's about the case, I'd be very careful.
Well, no, it's not about the case. It's
it
just
should be all right then.
Well, there's been a lot of shenanigans going on, which I don't know.
That's a lovely Frenchie, though, by the way.
Oh yeah, that is a lovely Frenchie. But I don't know what I can talk about. So Rod just needs to be quiet and say.
Yes, you need to just check with her first. But can I just please interrupt 1 minute and say, people, please, can we like and share the stream before it gets to the end if you want to hear any more mad ramblings of animals and other things.
Yeah. So yeah, thank you for asking that question, D. Robinson. But yeah, so I will try and get you something. Anyway, so look, we're about to hit the 3 hour mark. Tomorrow I'll be starting the stream earlier in the day. I want to go through some segments. We're going to start off every day with our, police state, the UK, all of that stuff.
Yeah.
We'll have a double day of Diddy tomorrow. But what I want to do is get Uber to look at news clips and things like this from the past of cases from throughout history, where we can do like a 20-minute segment on breaking down the body language and why this means that we're lying and all this kind of stuff in cases that are well and truly dealt with. And aren't ones that we can,
I can do that. There's plenty of them to
be
choose
great
from,
fun.
mate.
We've got.
Are you wanting something just to show for educational purposes?
Yeah, keep it
non-verbals and
well, like for example, like pull up famous cases and look at bits of news footage where they've given interviews or anything like that. And we'll just make a wee segment out of it. We'll figure out the format as we go, but just work on that. But when we want to keep it. We want to keep it what is referred to as palatable, so that people can take something from it, and it's not too much of a down their throat.
Yeah, I can do that.
Then we've got Pamalama, Cheyenne, and Stacy, who will be doing their thing with the Diddy stuff, and yeah, that's about it. Oh, also, I'm going to be bringing on some friends of the channel, some guests. They'll be popping on for half-hour segments and things like this. I want to try and create a segment show that I can run all day, basically. And
cool. And I'll throw in teaching you all some sign along the way.
Oh yeah, and we'll start that tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll start our like learning something to do with sign language every day, because that's easy. Surely.
I know the alphabet, but because my hand the way it is now, I can't do something.
Oh yeah, could you
You
imagine?
can still do it one-handed anyway, Uber.
Yeah, but Ron can't.
No,
spell,
you could need two hands for sign
if you
language.
can't,
No, you don't.
if you can't spell the words to begin with, right? Like I'm gonna be like the poor people are gonna be like, listen, I know.
Yeah, no, I only learned the sign language alphabet because it was up on the wall at school, and I learned it for something to do, and I've never forgotten it.
Yeah, other than what? The things you were meant to be doing at school?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
Well, hey, at least you learned
How
something.
did you know?
At least you learned something, mind you. Now, what did Ron watch?
KLG, there's a lot of different sign languages. There's a lot
Yeah,
more
British
than just
Sign Language,
American and
American
British.
Sign Language, Australian
Okay,
Sign
so
Language. Yeah, there's loads.
before we leave, put a 1 in the side chat if you think that HBO should do a really decent high-end version TV series of the movie Starship Troopers, and ask yourself, why has no one adapted that into a TV show? Because it would be awesome. Okay, second of all, what did Ron watch the other day? Ron watched a movie called The Blood Book the other, I think it was maybe last night or the night before. And it's on, what's it on? It's on Disney, right? And it's like 3 stories that all intertwine with each other. And it's one of these movies where it's a really slow burner, and then when it kicks off, it's like, okay, I'm glad I made it through the first 25 minutes. And then it ends, and the last 9 seconds ruin the whole thing, where you're just like, why would you just add on that little bit at the end? Why? It was perfect where it should have ended when the woman smiles. And if you know, you know, that's when it should have ended. Nonsense. They just ruin it. But I can't tell you because I don't want to spoil the film. But go see it because it's out there, and it's one of those ones. All right. So thank you.
Excellent.
Thank you all for being here. Thank you, Uber. Thank you, Pamalama. Thank you, Cheyenne. Thank you to the mods. Big shout out to Stacey, and we'll see you all tomorrow. Big shout out to the Sean Atwood channel, all of that. If you're watching on Twitter, can you please make the effort to come and watch the show on YouTube? It really helps support my little shows here, and it would really mean a lot to me.
Definitely.
I'm going to go bed because
we need some more likes. We've only got 49.
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah, the sun crazy going on. We're on
293 watching and 49 likes. Come on, people.
Yeah, that too. All right, listen. Love you guys. Thank you all for being here. Thank you all for supporting me. Thank you all for your continued everything. All right. Thank you, Discord. Thank you to all of you in the side chat. Thank you to all watching at home. Without you, I'm just a guy ranting in his living room. I mean, I'd probably still be ranting in my living room. I'm not going to lie. Like, I could probably just shout at a wall or something, but I mean, it doesn't have the same life goals attached to it. You know what I'm saying? So thank you all for being here and supporting me. I love you guys. I'll see you in the next one. Take care.